the goal, but teams are out here for this big Premier League clash. It's a London derby with a serious edge, sharpened by the war between Wenger and Mourinho back in the day. The pain for Arsenal of watching Chelsea become the first and only London club to win the Champions League, and then they went and won it again. And now two of those European champions for the Blues are trying to win the title for Arsenal for the first time in 20 years. The targets for Chelsea have been scaled down since the owner was forced out, but they go above Manchester United with victory. Arsenal go 3 points clear of Liverpool and 4 clear of City at the top of the table if they win. The only place to hear this game across the nation is Talksport. It's Arsenal against Chelsea in the Premier League with former England defender Danny Mills alongside your commentator Sam Matterface.
In the 20 years since Arsenal last won the title, London's football landscape has been given a blue rinse. Chelsea have won 5 Premier League titles, 5 FA Cups, 3 League Cups, 2 Europa Leagues, a Club World Cup, and significantly the Champions League twice in that period. Mikel Arteta wants to wash that out and paint the town red again. To become the dominant force in the capital, they need Spurs to splutter. They have Chelsea to falter, and they haven't just faltered. And for them to slam a Premier League trophy down. Yes, they lead the top of the table, but that lead over City is a slender one. But it can be forced by the end of the night, but even that might not be enough after they were vanquished by Villa. All they can do is keep winning, starting here, live on Talksport. We're off and underway with Arsenal in red shirts with white sleeves and white shorts and socks attacking the goal away to our right. Chelsea from head to toe, all in blue, attacking the goal away to our left-hand side. A pivotal midweek of action where every Premier League match that matters is live on Talksport. Here's Kai Havertz getting away from Badiashile, pulled down inside the penalty area.
It's a penalty. It's a penalty.
Unless he's offside, which I think he was as he went through.
I don't know.
Havertz going down the right-hand side, got into the penalty area. He was dragged back by Badiashile. He was just narrowly offside, but if he hadn't have been, Badiashile would have been sent off for a failure to play the ball, and that would have been a penalty. It's a massive let-off inside 45 seconds for Chelsea.
What a scare for Chelsea. But just, again, Arsenal started like this against Wolves, on the front foot. They've already won the ball back. They pressed Wolves high early on, won the ball back in their final third, and created half chances. And again, they've started, I know it's only a minute in, just about a minute in, they started in the same vein.
Yeah, well, he could have been in serious trouble there, Badiashile. Chelsea trying to get the ball forward. Conor Gallagher trying to win it after a poor pass forward by Fernandes. It's cut out and it's won back by Arsenal on the halfway line. Turn flicked by Mudryk, sends Gallagher away. Up over halfway, left of the centre circle. On the attack, Cucurella tries to slide the ball centrally. Cut out by Thomas Partey, and it's cleared up towards the halfway line. I'll go through the 11s for you in just a second. Arsenal often fast starters, but that was a fast start. Smothering, hounding, setting the tone. They'll be up for it. Arteta saying yesterday he had to rein them in during training. They were energised after that win at Wolves, where they got on the front foot early, then tapered off a little bit, came back, got the goal through Trossard, and then went powering through with the winner in stoppage time from their captain Martin Ødegaard. It's 0-0, 2 minutes played. Arsenal with Raya in goal, White, Saliba, Gabriel and Tomiyasu the back four. Partey holding in midfield with Rice and Ødegaard further on. Trossard, Havertz and Saka in attack. Havertz who flicks the ball on as the ball goes up towards the edge of the Chelsea penalty area. And then it's picked up by the Chelsea goalkeeper, who tonight is Jordan Petrovic. In front of him, Alfie Gilchrist over on the right-hand side. Disasi, Badiashile and Cucurella making up the back four. Caicedo and Fernandes, the holders in midfield, with Madueke, Gallagher and Mudryk behind Nicholas Jackson in attack. You're listening to Talksport. Here's Badiashile on the edge of the 18-yard box, playing it forward to Fernandes, who finds Gallagher just short of the centre circle inside the midfield for Chelsea. Disasi out to Noni Madueke, and he's back to Alfie Gilchrist, who's wearing a short-sleeved Chelsea shirt tonight. The first time he's started a Premier League game in blue. Born locally in Kingston upon Thames. joined the club at 7 years of age. He's very well thought of by the Chelsea support as the ball is clipped forward down the right-hand side. But it's a big challenge for him tonight, trying to deal with Trossard over on that far side, and Declan Rice, who might well join in that area. The ball goes back towards Tomiyasu, and Arsenal have it inside their own half. Mikel Arteta comes out to the edge of the technical area, jumping around like a jack-in-a-box, gesticulating wildly as Arsenal try to get the ball moving once again and get upfield. 0-0.
Just watching the first 3 minutes of the game, just watch how Arsenal pass the ball. Generally their passing is a lot better. It's on the floor. If the player chooses, he can play one touch. Chelsea's passing is bobbly at times. They're bobbling it into players. They've got to have an extra touch, and that just slows everything down. And that's the difference with a team playing well with confidence and a team not.
Partey's first time ball finds Rice, who strides forward into the penalty area, plays it wide to Trossard. Trossard shoots, it's in! Between the legs of Petrovic from a tight angle. Arsenal in front. We haven't even played 5 minutes yet. It was barely 4. And Arsenal lead by a goal to 0. Declan Rice striding up the pitch in the inside left position, feeding Trossard. Took one touch to get it outside his body and slammed it through the legs of Petrovic for 1-0 to the Gunners.
Literally on the stroke of 4 minutes. A great passing move from Arsenal. Very, very slick. But again, we talked about it before the game. Declan Rice in that more advanced left-sided position in midfield picks the ball up, drives at the heart of the defence, commits players, and then picks a great pass. And it's a perfect pass, the perfect weight. It's not bobbling. He takes it the outside of his right foot and then smashes it in to the goalkeeper. Goalkeeper doesn't really have a lot of chance from there. Slightly different to his finish against Wolves, which was an unusual one. I had difficulty describing that. It was that unusual.
Inventive, I think is the word.
Well, fluky, but a great start from Arsenal.
It's far too easy for Arsenal. Right through the legs of Petrovic at the near post. And I think the goalkeeper will be a little bit disappointed with the way he was beaten there.
It's hard, in all honesty, sometimes for a goalkeeper in that position. He's 4 yards away, 5 yards away, and he smashes it at him. A goalkeeper's, he's not going to have his feet together. He's going to have his feet spread a little bit because he's looking to push off either way. We see that quite a lot. I'm not going to blame the goalkeeper for that one. I've got to blame the defence.
Well, Declan Rice was allowed so much room to charge forward to the edge of the box and feed Trossard. And last year when we came here and covered this match here, I remember it being a game which was a total mismatch in the first half. It could have been 7-0 to Arsenal before half-time. They've started on the front foot and they are in the lead, and they're coming forward again. Over on the far side with Trossard getting to the corner flag, then taking the ball back towards Tomiyasu. Tomiyasu tries to turn away from Madueke, back out to Trossard again. He turns infield, flips it over the top looking for Havertz, is headed away. Comes back to the far touchline where Enzo Fernandez is wrestling with Trossard, gives away a free kick just a yard in from the touchline. And Pochettino already has the feeling that it's going to be a long night for Chelsea.
But you see what I mean? I think Arsenal look a different animal now. They look a different team. They had the setback against Villa. They had the disappointment against Bayern Munich. But they've come out against Wolves, performed. And they started tonight exactly the same way.
And they knew it was going to be a defining month. They stumbled, they slipped, and now they have to stay on their feet to win the title, and that's not easy. Especially with Tottenham on the horizon. It didn't look easy when they had Chelsea on this Tuesday night, but Chelsea have already conceded here. Ødegaard with the free kick far side, 13 yards outside the box, wide on the left-hand side, a couple of inches in from the touchline. A long high cross deep in towards the penalty area. Goalkeeper raises his arms and wins it, and then dispatches upfield, looking to try and release Nicholas Jackson, who was chasing with Ben White, who did well to watch it out of the sky and head it out towards the far side. Arsenal come forward again with Trossard, the goal scorer, who's managed to score his 15th goal of the campaign, and Arsenal's 100th goal of the campaign. Here is Saka down the right, looking to take on Cucurella. Gets to the edge of the penalty area. On the overlap is White. Too easy for Arsenal. White into the centre, stabbed away by Badiashile, and it's cleared away by Mudryk. I mean, the tone of the game was set in the first 45 seconds when Badiashile could have given away a penalty, and it was only the offside flag that spared his blushes. Since then, it's been one-way traffic.
And that's why I say Arsenal have a different mentality now. Tomiyasu's just gone down, caught a little bit late in a challenge. But we just saw down this right-hand side. How often do we see that? Saka picks the ball up, goes inside, Ben White round the outside, Cucurella, that's not even schoolboy defending. You take the man nearest the goal. If you're outnumbered 2-on-1 and someone goes down the outside, you don't stand on the player with the ball. You have to go with a runner and let someone else do that job. It's so basic. They weren't punished on that occasion, but if it happens again, I'm sure they will be.
Well, Arsenal just dealing with an issue over on the far side. Tomiyasu, who did miss the game on Saturday night because of a knock, is down, but he's got up without receiving any treatment. He was bumped into by Nicholas Jackson, I think.
Tell you what, it's a naughty one.
Oh, it was a bit high on the top of the ankle. The VAR has looked at it and there'll be no further action, but he was a little bit fortunate there because that was studs on top of, well, it was over the ankle, I thought, Danny.
Yeah, it was. Again, would love to hear the VAR because so many times this season we've seen that as a red card.
Away by Badiashile, chested down by Erdegaard. Caicedo trying to wrestle it back, wins it after being fouled by Saka. It's a free kick just in front of the 18-yard box.
Chelsea are a little bit fortunate that they're not down to 9 men and 2-0 down. I mean, fractions, that could easily be the case, couldn't it?
We've only played 9 minutes. Well, Cambridge 0, Wickham 0. Here is Havertz inside the penalty area, getting onto his left foot. Oh, he tried to push past in towards Declan Rice, who was joining him, and actually he probably should have taken a shot. Chelsea gave the ball away very quickly. Arsenal turned it over, and they were in on goal. And they're coming forward here again with Saka, edge of the area. Partey with a strike into Badiashile. Chelsea can't get out of their own defensive third here. It's won back again by Arsenal. Here is Declan Rice down the left-hand side. It's a brilliant start from the Gunners. On to Trossard, far side. Back to Tomiyasu. Tomiyasu looks up, trying to bend the ball forward, but declines the invitation to do that. Goes back to David Raya, who, by the way, is so bored he started to play on the halfway line.
That his first touch, 10 minutes in. I think it is.
And Arsenal start to come forward again. Disasi and Fernandes get in each other's way. Fernandes tries to send it forward, gives it straight to Tomiyasu. I don't think the ball's actually been beyond the midway point of the Arsenal half, unless it's been played by an Arsenal player.
No, it hasn't. But again, I hadn't seen Arsenal too much this season live. Watched them at Wolves. But when I look at it, it is very Man City-esque in the style that they play. Look at it, man. Everybody is spread out. You know, the two wide players hug the touchline. Everybody is fluid. Everybody is moving around all over the place, looking for the ball. Odegaard is allowed that freedom, a bit like Bernardo Silva does at times.
Tomiyasu comes in from left back and plays in the centre of midfield to add to the numbers alongside Partey. It has got the hallmarks of Pep with an Arteta twist. Cambridge 0, Wickham 0, Cheltenham lead Peterborough by 2-0 in League One at this moment in time, trying to avoid being relegated tonight. Ball on the left-hand side. It's collected by Trossard as Arsenal come forward. Declan Rice in the penalty area. Jinks past one challenge, can't get past Fernandes, who skips away and feeds Noni Madueke, who scored his first Chelsea Premier League goal here a year ago. He then fires it into the right channel, looking for the run of Nicholas Jackson. Jackson picks it up, gets to the edge of the area, nudges it back to Alfie Gilchrist, and Gilchrist keeps things moving for Chelsea. Chelsea with their first real considered passage of possession after 12 minutes. 1-0 the score. They have been blitzed in the first few minutes. It was a supreme start to the game from the Gunners, and they lead as a result of that. In League 2, Doncaster League Colchester 2-1. It gives Sutton a slim chance of staying up on goal difference if it stays like this. Barrow 0, they're chasing a playoff spot. Bradford City 0 is also the latest scoreline. Here is Mark Cucurella wearing gloves in April. Well, actually, it's given half a chance, we all would be. Here's Erdegaard.
Come on, Sam, it's nearly 10 degrees.
You're wearing a woolly hat, don't give it.
I've got no hair.
And 2 coats.
1 coat.
Free kick given to Arsenal.
1 coat and a gilet, thank you.
Saka out towards the near touchline. Looks to take on Cucurella again. Comes infield and feeds Partey. Partey, midway point of the Arsenal half, floats the ball over towards the far side. Collected by Trossard, who scored the opener here at the Emirates tonight. It's Arsenal 1, Chelsea 0 on Talksport with Now. Don't forget, with Now you can stream all the Sky Sports action contract free. With a Now membership, search Now Sports. Here is Erdegaard. Out to Saka. Saka On the near touchline, back to Ødegaard again. White makes an intelligent run. He goes into the penalty area on the right side, produces a cross, blocked by Cucurella. Out for the first corner of the game.
Mudryk has got to help out Cucurella. He's getting done 2-on-1 every single time. If I was Cucurella, I'd be absolutely screaming at Mudryk to do your job and track the fullback.
Well, Chelsea took the game to City at the weekend, but despite the legginess shown by Pep's side, they couldn't take their chances. They haven't even had a sniff of a chance in the opening stages here. Here is Saka with the corner for Arsenal, who are a real dead ball threat. Left-footed ball right into the centre of the 6-yard box. Badiashile takes charge of it in front of Petrovic, flicks it behind. It'll be another corner on the other side. Actually, if Badiashile had left that, Petrovic had a very easy catch.
Well, Petrovic came for it, didn't he? Whether he called or not, we obviously can't hear from here, but it looks like he'd called coming for it, and Badiashile wasn't having any of it and flicked it on for another corner.
1-0 to Arsenal. The corner on the far side is going to be taken by Declan Rice. Trossard goes short. Gabriel may well be an eventual target. It is a short one to Trossard, who travels to the edge of the box on the left side, then feeds Ødegaard. He then gives it back to Declan Rice. Declan Rice to Ødegaard again. Ødegaard will stand it up to the far post. Tomiyasu arriving over the bar. He arrived at pace and got away from his marker, stole in on the edge of the 6-yard box and headed it over the top of the crossbar.
I think Gabriel might have been a slightly better position, was expecting to challenge and head that, and all of a sudden Tomiyasu sort of sneaked in front of himself and the defender, wasn't able to get it on target, but another warning for Chelsea. The only problem for Arsenal is, and I was a little bit concerned about in the Wolves game, they didn't get the second goal early on and kill the game off.
Yeah, there's a bit of anxiety as a result of that. Here is Ødegaard trying to feed the ball forward for Havertz. He's dispossessed by first Badiashile, then clattered into by Gallagher. The ball's been played down the left side for Jackson to chase, and he's isolated Saliba here. He's gone on the outside. He's got a bit of support arriving. He's come in on his right foot and then tried to shoot, then had to go on the other side. Sends a cross into the centre, dealt with by Gabriel, who got there just ahead of Madueke. It's cleared away. Only half cleared, back by Fernandes to the edge of the Arsenal box. And then Arsenal get it further clear. Chelsea keep the pressure on. Gallagher left side. Tries to take on White. Goes on the outside. Produces a cross. It's in towards Madueke. He's not there in time to finish it off. It was a great opportunity for Chelsea to equalise. Gallagher's cross. Madueke coming in on the edge of the 6-yard box. He didn't reach it.
He didn't gamble. Didn't assume that Gallagher was going to beat his man and get the cross in. But just have a look. When Chelsea counter-attack, look how quickly the Arsenal players get back. There's been 2 occasions now where Chelsea have been counter-attacking. Jackson's been up the pitch, whoever else has been with him. The Arsenal players have streamed back in numbers, and suddenly they've got 8 or 9 players behind the ball and outnumbered Chelsea, who've maybe only got 3 players there. Fantastic work rate.
16 gone. Arsenal lead by a goal to nil. Leicester nil, Southampton nil in the Championship. That game live on Talksport 2. Leicester can take a 4-point lead over Leeds should they win tonight. 5 points over Ipswich Town. Cambridge nil, Wycombe nil in League One. Cheltenham 2-0 up against Peterborough, trying to avoid the drop. Cheltenham Town. And in League 2, Barrow nil. Bradford 1, that's bad news for Barrow, won a playoff place, and Colchester 1, Doncaster 2. You're up to date on TalkSport tonight. Remember, TalkSport 2, commentary on that big championship game and lots of championship games over the course of the next few days. Big ones Friday night, QPR Leeds. Saturday night, Hull against Ipswich. The title race in the EFL Championship is just as compelling as the one in the Premier League. It's going to the wire. And the big game's available on TalkSport 2. More EFL commentaries than anybody. The only place to get EFL commentaries, TalkSport and TalkSport 2. We'll have the playoffs for you as well, and the conclusion to the season. We're looking forward to it. Here on the right side, the ball with Gilchrist for Chelsea. Tries to fire it into Jackson. Steered away by Gabriel. Arsenal have possession once again inside their own territory on the right with Ben White. Feeds Saka, and then Saka sort of spoons the ball back to his goalkeeper, miskicked it completely, toe-ended it with the left boot, and it goes behind from about 10 yards inside his own half, all the way out for a corner.
That was a bit like Trossard's finish at the weekend. He just sort of straight-legged it straight out of play. I mean, it did bobble up a touch, but very unlike Bukayo Saka.
Well, it's gifted Chelsea a chance for a corner kick on this near side, which Mykhailo Mudryk will take. The Ukrainian places the ball down in the quadrant. Jackson in the 6-yard box. He's got Badiashile turning up from the back and Disasi too. It's aimed in towards the near post. It's a glancing header from Badiashile, and it goes narrowly wide of the foot of the left-hand upright. And Disasi, I think, who was coming in at the far post, almost got a touch on it.
Nobody gambles at the far post. He gets a touch at the near post. But look, not a single player. How often do you see goals tapped in at the far post? Someone coming round the back because they don't get picked up a simple tap-in. That's basics, and that should be worked on the training ground. Telling whichever striker it is, get round the back exactly for that scenario.
Well, 1-0 to Arsenal. Opportunities for Chelsea. They've had a couple already in the game, despite the fact that they've hardly had any real possession of the football up until the 13th minute of the match. It was all one way. Mykhailo Mudryk has just got some instruction from Maurizio Pochettino, who just was pointing at him, giving him severe instruction, and then gave him a wink. Let's see if that produces anything from Mykhailo Mudryk. Here's Kukureya into the Ukrainian, who turns and runs into Saka, loses the ball. Partey forward onto Trossard, then Rice 10 yards outside the box, tries to feed it in towards Havertz, nabbed by Disasi. Gallagher trying to get away. He was surrounded by three, hounded by three Arsenal jerseys. Trossard turns it round, goes on the outside, gives it to Saka. He's on the edge of the box on this near touchline. Left-footed ball into the area. It's a dangerous ball, which is flicked away by Disasi. And then Caicedo tries to get clear. Fernandes and Mudryk have made good runs on this near side, but the ball was terrible from Caicedo, and it's out of play and away for a throw-in.
You know, I talked about, Sam, before the game about, real quality sides. See, Chelsea aren't pressing because they know they'll get picked off because Arsenal are in high in confidence. They're a good team. Arsenal know that Chelsea, because their passing isn't great, their confidence isn't great, they can press them really high up the pitch. And because of that, they're making mistakes, and Arsenal are winning it in that final third and giving themselves a chance to attack quickly.
Well, Jackson has turned the ball over now, and here is Gallagher steaming into the penalty area. He's surrounded again immediately by an Arsenal body. It was Partey who's getting back. Caicedo gets to the edge of the area, feeds it wide. Gilchrist joins the attack, right side of the box, tees it back up for Madueke. Madueke holds the ball inside the penalty area, twists, turns, feeds it back to Gilchrist, whose cross takes a deflection, goes into the air. It's going to be an easy catch for David Raya.
And again, I think we're really starting to see the difference in quality between the two teams at the moment. Arsenal, a couple of times they misplaced that final ball. But in general, the standard of their passing, the quality of their play has been much higher than Chelsea's.
Chelsea a team in transition very much. Arsenal very much hoping to try and be in the hunt for the title. Lovely little flip from Saka to take out two players. Dribbles across the edge of the 18-yard box, and Kukureya, who was initially, I think, embarrassed by the fact that Saka went past him far too easily, got back and blocked him at the second attempt. Here's Rice inside the area. Lovely turn, edge of the box, left-footed shot towards the far corner, and it's an inch over the top of the crossbar. He received it on the edge of the box with his back to goal. He turned almost 180 degrees, opened his body up, fired the ball right-footed towards the top corner, and it was only narrowly over the top. And Petrovic was stretching, couldn't get anywhere near it. Let's go off to the King Power Stadium, find out how Leicester are getting on. Jeff Peters.
No goals here with Southampton, but Leicester have had the better chances. Fatawu firing at the goalkeeper, and Ndidi with a couple of efforts as well, just off target. It's an absorbing game. Leicester 0, Southampton 0.
And if you want to listen to it, you can listen to it on Talksport too. Download our app. You can flick between the two stations. Back here in the Premier League, it's Arsenal who lead by 1-0. Live on Talksport tonight on a chilly evening in North London. The clock end away to our right-hand side as half Chelsea in the bottom tier and half Arsenal. But it's the Arsenal section at this moment in time that are leading the noise. And the Ashburton Army at the front of that particular stand in their black jerseys, standing, facing the rest of the support, trying to get them to sing in unison. Arsenal leading by Trossard's goal. This is Enzo Fernandez, right-footed, curling it out towards the far side, and Disasi, who's deep inside his own territory, gives the ball away cheaply. Arsenal on the attack, into Havertz, back to Tomiyasu. He's got options arriving on the edge of the area. Ødegaard is one. He shrugs aside Enzo Fernandez, then goes past another player, feeds Tomiyasu, goes to the far post, doesn't get reached by Saka, comes back to Partey, he strikes it. Badiashile tries to get it away, and Chelsea are having an absolute nightmare at the back.
Arsenal tired? Not in the slightest.
Jackson at the other end, stings away from Saliba, gets into the penalty area, tries to poke it towards the near post, takes a deflection and goes off the outside of the post and away for a corner. Well, we've got a game.
Nicholas Jackson had no other chance, did he? He's had to run 60 yards on his own. There's no real support. He's just tried to toe poke it across goal. Nothing else he can do, really. It takes the deflection off Gabriel and goes out for the corner. And I think that's going to be his role tonight, is chasing lost causes, running in behind on his own and hoping for the best.
1-0 to Arsenal. Chelsea have hit the outside of the post with a bit of luck, really, and came off the Brazilian Gabriel. But at the other end, I mean, that last passage of play, Danny, was bonkers, wasn't it? I mean, after giving the ball away, Disasi is a corner towards the far post, flicked away by Tomiyasu, comes out to Gallagher, steers it back in, and it's half clear.
And this is why when Arsenal are so on top, they've got to score that second.
Mudryk towards the back post, headed away by Gabriel. Then Caicedo keeps it alive. Badiashile trying to get there, away by Ødegaard, goes out towards this near touchline, and Chelsea are in trouble again because Havertz is trying to escape. Trossard nearly did. There was a push by Havertz, and that was a generous free kick from Simon Hooper, I think. Chelsea again gulping a bit of oxygen because Arsenal at this moment in time threatening to take them apart every time they come forward. I mean, that move just moments ago where Disasi gives the ball away cheaply, they turn it over. The way that Havertz and Tomiyasu combined down the left-hand side, I mean, it looked well coordinated. They all look in tune with one another, Arsenal. And Chelsea, who've got a reshaped back four tonight. Remember, 3 of the back 4 that started the game at Wembley on Saturday are not in the team tonight. They look a little bit out of sorts.
And that's the advantage of not rotating your squad that often, because everyone knows their jobs, everyone knows their role. It almost becomes telepathic at times, and that's exactly what Arsenal are doing. They know where every player is going to be because they're there more often than not, you know, week in, week out. And when you talk about tiredness, as I said, look at Arsenal. They're playing football, they're enjoying it, they're working hard.
Havertz,
none of them need a rest.
Takes it down, feeds Ødegaard, edge of the D, out wide left towards Trossard. His shot is blocked by Gilchrist in the right fullback position for Chelsea, but comes straight to Rice, and centrally is Partey, and then Ødegaard feeding Havertz inside the area, turning it back to Saka, deflection, and into the arms down low of Petrovic. Goal at Leicester, Jeff Peters.
It's first blood to Leicester here. Lovely through ball from Kiernan Dewsbury Hall. Abdou Fatou maybe offside, got on the end of it, one touch, brilliant finish. Leicester 1, Southampton 0.
No VAR to rule it out though. Once it's been given, it has been given. They lead by a goal to 0. Arsenal won the ball back high up. It's picked up by Havertz, saved by Petrovic down to his left after Havertz pulled the hammer down on it. Here they come again though, still Chelsea can't get it clear. Saka into the area, too much time for Trossard to turn, a deflection, it's saved by Petrovic and he pushes it away, and somehow it's still only 1-0 to Arsenal.
What a save that was, a deflection off Disasi. I mean, Arsenal do fantastic, winning it high up the pitch every single time. That's the best place to win it, to create opportunities. But that reaction save from Petrovic was, well, fantastic.
Arsenal are having a whirlwind start. They are all over Chelsea like a rash. Here is Saka down the right side, trying to motor up towards the edge of the penalty area. Ødegaard's got it now, trying to turn away from Jackson. Back into Ødegaard again. Lovely slip pass to Saka, down the side of the box, gets to the byline, then turns, holds up. No one determined to put a challenge in. Ødegaard with a cross to the far post, headed down by Havertz, away by Disasi. Partey's the first man to react edge of the penalty area. Pushed forward by Gabriel. Again, White gets there ahead of Mudryk. Mudryk eventually gets back and gets something on it, and Chelsea maybe now be able to clear through Caicedo. And Chelsea's tactic really, Danny, is when they win the ball on the edge of their own penalty area to kick it as far away as possible and hope that Jackson can run in behind.
I said that a few moments ago, didn't I? That is their game plan. You know, Nicholas Jackson has got a thankless task this evening, but Arsenal at the moment are on fire.
Saka speeding away at rapid pace down the right hand side. Another wave of attack comes. He twists and turns. His left footed shot is blocked by Cucurella, who looks like he's going to walk away with twisted blood by the end of the night.
Oh, Saka's got him on toast at the moment. I mean, it's just, I mean, I've been in that situation as a fullback. It's horrible. And you can't even clatter people in this day and age to stop it.
I mean, he is absolutely roasting Cucurella every time he gets the ball down this right hand side. I mean, Chelsea absolutely bewildered by the speed the tempo, the crispness of the passing and the absolute intensity of Arsenal in the opening half an hour here. It's Arsenal who lead by a goal to nil. And I suppose why it is only 1-0, Danny, Chelsea will believe that there's hope that they can come away with something.
And that's why I've said Arsenal have to kill the game off. When you're on top, you've got to score that second goal. You've got to put teams to the sword. And for the most part this season, Arsenal have done that very, very well. You just always worry when you miss chance after chance and you don't get that second one. You're always susceptible to something.
Chelsea licking their wounds from Saturday. They're 9th in the table, 47 points. Significantly, they have a game in hand over Manchester United and Newcastle and a batch over West Ham. Poch wants them to close the gap to the top teams, and a European excursion is all they really have to chase now, but it's going to be difficult. Their fixtures tough between now and the end of the season, and this one up there with the toughest. Here's Fernandes, clipping the ball out towards the right side for Chelsea. Noni Madueke tries to take on Tomiyasu from the right side, gets it from Gallagher, goes down toward the right edge of the penalty area, pulls it back through the 6-yard box. It comes to Cucurella, he shoots, it's blocked by the defender, comes back to him again. Fernandes, and it's narrowly wide of the right hand upright. And it's another chance in the game. And Chelsea, who have hardly had a kick in it really, have created a couple of big chances and spurned them both.
Good chances as well. I was a little bit surprised Cucurella didn't shoot first time. It came across at him a decent weight. Why he didn't shoot, I don't know. And then Fernandes has tried to be really precise and just pass it into the corner and missed by a foot or so.
Well, I can't believe it's 1-0 in the game. I mean, Arsenal have had 3 or 4 really good opportunities to extend their lead.
And then some, when they haven't shot, Sam. They've got in really good positions, haven't they?
Yeah.
And they haven't pulled the trigger.
And Chelsea have had some blinding opportunities and missed the target. Well, the Premier League is never dull, is it?
You can always tell when it's been a good game. Look up at the clock. 30 minutes gone already. Seems about 10.
It was funny because you and I were talking actually in the press room beforehand, and we were saying how, we've been to so many great games over the course of the season. We were talking about games that were rubbish, and we couldn't really think of that many. And then I said, well, most of the games we've watched this season have been brilliant. And you said, usually you get 5 or 6 or 7 really good games over the course of the season that you think, wow, that was a brilliant match. But it seems to be happening every week now.
Well, it's almost like you get 2 every weekend, isn't it?
Madueke on the turn, on halfway. Back to Disasi, then across to Badiashile. Short of the halfway line, into Enzo Fernandez, who looks up, floats the ball over the top of the Arsenal defence, but Tomiyasu readjusts, reacts, turns it over, gets it back for the Gunners, who lead by Trossard's goal. He's 15th of the season. It's a good total for someone who hasn't started every week. Here is Ødegaard, and offside Saka. As he played the ball forward, Ødegaard, I think, realised that he wasn't going to reach it anyway, and it goes all the way through to Petrovic, and Chelsea have it back again. 31 gone.
I mean, apart from that one, generally Arsenal are making very, very good decisions. And I think, if Mikel Arteta's not telling them, they know themselves. Get the ball out to Bukayo Saka. Let him have a run at Cucurella.
Let's get the latest odds from Ladbrokes, where right now Arsenal coming forward with Havertz into the penalty area, trying to find Saka. It's away by Cucurella. There was a little nudge there from Saka, and it's a free kick inside the box. The latest odds from Ladbrokes then, right now you can get Arsenal to win at 13-2 on. Back Chelsea to win at 16-1. The draw is 6-1. That's all thanks to Ladbrokes. 18+, speedgambleaware.org. This is Talksport on Tuesday night. We're following Arsenal tonight. They're going to go top of the table with a victory here. Then we'll go to Liverpool, who will hope to keep pace with them with victory at Everton, although Sean Dyche's team might have something to say about that in the Merseyside derby tomorrow. And then on Thursday night, we're down in Brighton. Brighton against Manchester City, live on Talksport. Friday night, QPR leads in the Championship. Saturday, we're at West Ham, Liverpool during the day. And the night time, we've got 2 fixtures for you, one for the Premier League and one for the Championship, live on Talksport and Talksport 2. It never stops. Here's Tomiyasu down the left-hand side, trying to get into the penalty area for Arsenal, who lead. It's back to Trossard, the goal scorer, whose shot is a dribbler. It took a little deflection, and it goes behind and away for a corner kick over on the far side.
I mean, Arsenal have just been magnificent. Couple of slight defensive lapses at times. Sometimes that can happen when you're attacking so much, maybe not quite concentrating. as much as they should, almost a little bit too easy for them at times. But they will know, and Mikel Arteta will know, they'll be desperate to get that second goal, that little bit of a cushion before half-time.
Trossard from a short corner from Declan Rice, back to Ødegaard, edge of the area. He looked as if he had a bit of space to shoot. Saka might have had some left-footed shot from the edge of the D over the bar. Well, remember the game against Aston Villa that they lost here the other Sunday was the first game of 2024 that they had lost Arsenal. So they've been in pretty good form. They haven't conceded too many goals in this calendar year either, and although they've struggled in recent capital clashes, they've failed to win 5 of their London derbies in the league this season. They are absolutely bossing this game, and Chelsea are being dizzied by them. They've got to keep their heads. Gallagher back to Caicedo, into Gallagher once again. Gallagher lifts the ball over Trossard. There's a bit of space on the far side for Alfie Gilchrist. He takes a couple of touches, gets up to halfway, gives it to Fernandes, back out to Gilchrist again, collected by Madueke. He's 10 yards inside Arsenal territory, wide on the right, and Chelsea maintain a bit of possession with 11 minutes to go before the break. Badiashile, who had a heart-in-mouth moment inside 45 seconds here, guides it square into the path of Disasi. Forward to Mudryk and then on towards Cucurella. It's picked up by Ben White, who shuffles it infield. Gallagher wins it, and it was a mistake by Ødegaard, who gave it away. And Caicedo now has found Enzo Fernandez. Gallagher's made a good run left-hand side, trying to get on the end of the pass, but it wasn't great from Enzo Fernandez. Cucurella's then rather needlessly fouled Saka, and Arsenal have a free kick. They waste no time in getting the ball moving again. They want to do things at pace, and Trossard certainly trying to do that. Goes on the outside of Gilchrist, runs down the left side of the box, gets into the penalty area, into a crossing position, delivers a really good ball actually that nobody ends up attacking, and it goes out the other side. Still Arsenal have it. So red shirt that gets there first.
It's a joy to watch. It's a great way of watching Arsenal play. It's fast, it's furious, some great passing, some great movement.
Ødegaard down the right, asked a bit too much of White this time, and it goes behind and away for a goal kick away to our right hand side. And this is Talksport. It's just been a sensational start from Arsenal, the way that they've moved the ball at an intense pace really that I don't think many people could live with, but certainly Chelsea have been put on the back foot by Arsenal in this opening 35 minutes, and they'll probably be absolutely delighted that it's only 1-0.
But do you agree, Sam, that it's Man City-esque without Erling Haaland in the way that they played with that false nine, the movement that they got, the pressure to win the ball back high up the pitch?
It's brilliant. It's almost a little bit like that, but with a little bit more intensity. Do you know what I mean? Because sometimes I think with City, they can get in front in the game and then they can almost sort of rest with it. Do you know what I mean?
And I think at times Arsenal are prepared to go slightly longer, a little bit more direct, and play that ball over the top for the pace of Saka and Trossard.
Yeah, there's a bit more variation to it maybe. This is obviously different teams and different quirks and different personnel, but you can see the hallmarks of the Pep plan adapted by Arteta. I think he's done. Yeah, I think
he's got to book Cucurella for that. He's got to book him.
Cucurella, who's going to get booked by Simon Hooper. Or is he? He's going to get spoken to by Simon Hooper, chucking the ball away.
Hang on, he's thrown the ball away, and then he's ran to the linesman, assistant referee, jumping up and down and throwing his arms at him. You can't get any more dissent.
Now, I think in the early weeks of the season, that would have been 2 yellow cards. At this stage of the campaign, it's not even one.
And he's still having a go at the linesman.
I think he might be a little bit frustrated with the fact that he's had to deal with Saka all on his own.
I think he might be trying to get sent off.
Quick, get me an early bath.
Yeah, get sent off or get taken off.
Chelsea without Ben Chilwell today, who's not made the trip. Ball cleared away by Badiashile. He's had so many problems with injury this season, Ben Chilwell. The ball runs loose inside the Chelsea half, and Jackson will try and send Madueke away, but Gabriel is there to shut the door, and that's been the beauty of Arsenal this season, the amount of times they've been able to do that. Trossard wins a tackle with Gilchrist, then turns round and acts as cheerleader in front of the East Stand opposite us. Waves his arms in the air and tries to turn up the volume of this Arsenal crowd.
That's a team winning, full of confidence, passion, You know, it's a meaty challenge, isn't it, from Gilchrist? But Trossard jumps up immediately, doesn't roll around on the floor. Good to see.
I think Arsenal's quality has to be recognised. Nobody stops Wolves from scoring, even though Wolves were depleted at the weekend. David Raya made a really good save in the first half of that. Was it the first half or the second half?
Yeah,
of that game?
First half
onto the post.
Yeah. Again, it was Kivior got caught out.
Yeah,
Gomez at left back, and he smashed it at him from about 7 or 8 yards away.
He did a really good job.
Oh, fantastic save.
And nobody really stops them from scoring this season. I think they hadn't managed to be prevented to be. I think only Brentford has prevented them from scoring once in 26 games.
What was that? Arsenal 6 clean sheets in a row away from home.
Yeah,
something like that.
Impressive statistics. And Chelsea trying to pierce this defence will find it very difficult, bearing in mind that they haven't got Cole Palmer this evening. Here's Mykhailo Mudryk in the number 10 position at this moment in time, feeding Jackson. Swings the ball out towards the far side. Collected now by Madueke, who is held up by first Tomiyasu. The ball ricochets back to Gilchrist. Then Fernandes drips the ball in towards the 6-yard box. Jackson is trying to chase it down and goes to ground. The referee says nothing doing, and Gallagher was trying to get there ahead of Raya, who gobbled it up pretty easily. Arsenal come forward again. Stung into action once more. Havertz infield. Gallagher was pushing in the back of Trossard. The referee said that's no foul, and they play on. Jackson, centre circle for Chelsea. Receives it with his back to goal, then goes out to the far side, the right to receive it, and now a chance to get forward. And Pochettino saying someone else has got to join him. He's running on his own down the right side. Feeds Gallagher, who tries to tuck it back to Fernandes. Easy for Rice to read and to clear.
But this is why Arsenal are defending so well. They are defending as a team.
Chelsea on the back foot because Havertz is running forward at pace. He did play it into Trossard, got it back. Chelsea didn't have men behind the ball, but Trossard was seemingly taken out of the game, and as a result of that, they didn't have the numbers going forward to punish Chelsea. But it's been a brilliant spectacle so far. Chelsea have played their part in it as well, I think, but Arsenal have just been so good.
They have, but they defend as a team. They press high from the front, and that makes it so much easier as a defender, because the chances that they get, it's 2-on-4 or 1-on-3 at the back, and then as a defender, you can afford to get really tight to your centre forward or your winger, because you know you've got cover. So the defence is very important. The goalkeepers are very important. But look at Arsenal's organisation. They defend brilliantly as a team.
Arsenal 1, Chelsea now on Talksport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Enterprise has 450 branches for all your vehicle needs. The ball in towards the near post by Gallagher, and again Jackson trying to get there, pushed away by Raya, but the offside flag, I think, was up against him. It's going to be half-time in some of the games up and down the country, and it's Cambridge 0, Wycombe 0, Cheltenham 2, Peterborough 0, and Barrow 0, Bradford 1. Now the Cheltenham result is interesting in League One because it means that they will not be relegated tonight. Barrow at home behind to Bradford, and Barrow going for a League 2 playoff place tonight. Doncaster beating Colchester 2-1. It gives Sutton a little bit of hope that they may well stay in the division, should it stay like that. Yellow card for Alfie Gilchrist over on the far side, and we're approaching half time here at the Emirates Stadium. Ball is with David Raya away to our right, about to take a goal kick, and he hasn't been the busiest of the two goalkeepers, but he's had one or two things to do so far today. Foul by Cucurella.
Oh, he's got to put Cucurella in a minute, surely. Look, he's still arguing with it. Yeah, finally.
Well, that's both Chelsea full-backs who have been booked. Danny desperate for the full-backs to be booked.
Well, I mean, he's picked the ball up, run off with it, and then sort of thrown it down and waved his arms at the linesman again. If referees are going to book players for dissent, he's had several fouls. What they've got to do now is Trossard and Saka just keep getting on the ball and keep running at the fullback. Because one inadvertent trip and you're off.
Yeah, both fullbacks have been booked for Chelsea.
Cucurella's just forearm smashed Saka. He knows exactly what he's doing.
And the linesman's shaking his head. The referee's wagging his finger. but you get the sense that it will be quite some achievement for Cucurella to spend the rest of the whole of the second half on that yellow card without getting sent off. Jackson forward, didn't find the pass to Mudryk, who was in a position to get in behind there, and a Chelsea attack doesn't come to anything. Here is Mudryk on this near touchline, 43 on the clock. It remains 1-0 to the Arsenal. White back to Saka, and then Saliba from the right fullback position in a tight area feeds Saka quickly up to Havertz, a little flick by him, but it doesn't reach Ødegaard. It's tidied up.
But look at the pressure. Look at the pressure they put on them.
Non-stop pressure.
Trying to get the ball back, immediately they give it away.
I mentioned it at the beginning. They smother you, they hound you, they win the ball back high up. It causes you issues, it unsettles you. Here come Chelsea on the right side though. Gilchrist into Madueke on the outside, low ball in towards the near post, straight into the arms of David Raya. It's still 1-0 to Arsenal.
Yeah, nothing cross, not good enough in that situation. In behind the defence, you've got to pick somebody out, can't just drive it into the keeper's arms.
Chelsea have been on a relatively good run of results, even if the performances haven't been perfect. They're unbeaten in 8 Premier League games. The only defeats that they've suffered have come at Wembley in the last 13 matches. And that loss in the League Cup final in extra time probably goes down as an official draw, doesn't it? And Saturday's defeat in the semi-finals to Manchester City. Of course, a few giggles in midweek when people say if you don't win, if you don't lose in 90 minutes, it's not really a defeat. Cucurella has just been knocked to his floor by Trossard. That's going to be a foul.
Yeah,
and a yellow card.
I'm not having that. Jumped about 20 foot in the air, screaming, stands on his toe. Simple as that. Bizarre that, isn't it? That's a yellow card, but the Nicholas Jackson one, we went right over the top of it, nothing.
Well, that's because the referee didn't see it, and the VAR looked at it and thought that it wasn't a red card, so he couldn't advise the referee to give a yellow card.
Mikel Arteta's getting booked now.
Oh. Is that a significant yellow card? I think that might be an extra one this season. Does that mean he's going to miss a game? I think
referees don't do themselves any favours, do they? He didn't book Cucurella for throwing the ball away and throwing his arms at the linesman first time around, and has booked Mikel Arteta for going 2 steps outside his technical area.
So I have Spurs on Sunday. I have to find out about that yellow card for Mikel Arteta. Here is Partey up towards the halfway line. Drops the ball over the top, looking for the run of Kai Havertz. Havertz getting up towards the edge of the 18-yard box, and it's played into Tomiyasu. Tomiyasu feeds the ball out wide, where it's collected by Havertz, and then it goes back to Tomiyasu once again. We've played nearly 1 minute of added time. Arsenal coming forward, and Simon Hoover's going to stop the play, and that's going to be the half-time whistle. Well, no sign of a plot twist here so far. Arsenal heading for 3 points, and 3 points clear at the top of the table, 4 clear of City for now, thanks to the goal from Trossard. But it's been a dizzying performance, and Chelsea have just about stuck in the game. It's been intense, full of tempo, full of chances, but it's only Arsenal 1, Chelsea 0 at the break.
And I don't understand how. How on earth Chelsea aren't dead and buried here. Remember we said before the game Nicholas Jackson might even score a hat-trick. Doesn't matter because the back four he's got behind him. Well, that's been proven to be correct apart from the hat-trick side of it. Arsenal could have had 4 or 5 in that game. The amazing thing is, Danny Mills, Chelsea have also fashioned a few chances. I think the stats will tell you they haven't had one on target, but they've actually been in some good positions, created some decent moments without really testing David Raya. But I am amazed. On the balance of that 46 minutes, I'm amazed Chelsea is still in the game.
Oh, without a doubt. And this is sometimes, Arsenal maybe of late haven't killed teams off as much as they want to. It was very, very similar against Wolves. And you're then always just worrying if there's a slip or a mistake or a terrible refereeing decision or a wonder goal, then all of a sudden you've thrown away 3 points. So that's where they've got to be a little bit more clinical when they are so dominant. And they are so dominant at the moment. Keep getting the ball to Trossard. Gilchrist on a booking. Keep getting the ball to Saka, because Cucurella is on a booking. If I was Mauricio Pochettino in that dressing room, first thing I would say, I would go up to Cucurella and say, you get sent off, something stupid, I'm fining you a month's wages.
Yep.
Because at the moment I'm looking at it, and if he gets sent off, it's cowardly. It's much easier for him to get sent off than it is for him to defend properly and get through the next 45 minutes without a yellow card.
So I'll make you right, because I was going to ask you, it looks to me almost as if, I can't accuse a professional footballer of this, it's like he's trying to get sent off.
And that's what I mean. It's a little bit for the fans at times. Like, look, I'm trying so hard. Oh, look, I've made a rash tackle. I've put my foot in. Look how great I am. Look how much I'm trying for the team. No, that's nonsense. You know, it's like when players stand up and start pointing and shouting at other players. It's almost for the fans. Do your job properly. If he gets sent off, it's a cowardly act. Let's
talk about the goal. Just 4 minutes in, Declan Rice, what he did, a driving run. You talked about him doing that before the game at Wolves on Saturday night. He did it again for the goal, but he wasn't just driving at the heart of Chelsea's defence. He was driving at Alfie Gilchrist, because he knows it was brutal, really, merciless from Declan Rice. He knows Gilchrist is a rookie, he's raw, he's young, and he probably might panic in that situation. Well, he did. Declan Rice drove straight at him, almost head to head. He was trying to cover Trossard to his right. He then twisted inside. At that very moment, that was Declan Rice's cue. Slip it to Trossard, it's a goal. I personally think the keeper should do better. But also, Gilchrist, being how young and raw, he's got to have Madueke coming back to help him. He's got to have Disasti sliding over to help him. Where's Enzo? Where's Caicedo? Nobody helping out the young lad at right back.
And people talking to him, you know, and talking him through that. Or work on this on the training end. We've seen Arsenal play. I watched them at the weekend. Declan Rice did that 5 or 6 times. You know what he's going to do. You know, you're going to target what you think are the weaknesses. And at the moment, you look at Cucurella and possibly, well, the back four, for instance. You're going to run at them. So that's on Mauricio Pochettino, to set the team up, to protect him, to give Alfie Gilchrist a little bit of protection. It's his first start in the Premier League. It's tough. It's an emotional night for him. It's a big step up against a team that are top of the table.
Away.
Yeah, and in a London derby. It's not an easy game, so help the kid out. So I think, again, that's a little bit poor management, allowing him to be exposed.
But also smart from Declan Rice to know.
And this is why I said that Arsenal, in the main, are making very good decisions.
Yep.
Most of their passes are good. Their defending is good. And again, that's a team with confidence, playing well, belief in the manager, belief in the way that they play. And I mean, I'm no Arsenal fan, but it's a joy to watch.
Oh, it really is. They actually have the look of champions about them, but partly that is down to Chelsea being so bad defensively. So 1-0 to the Arsenal here at half-time, live and exclusive on Talksport. It's half-time at Leicester in the Championship as well. Talksport's Jeff Peters.
It's Leicester 1, Southampton 0. As it stands, Leicester 4 points clear of Leeds at the top and 5 ahead of third place Ipswich. The Foxes out of the traps quickest. They look more threatening. It wasn't a surprise when they took a 25th minute lead. Keane and Dewsbury Hall played an exquisite pass which sliced through the defence. Abdul Fatawu controlled on the run before fizzing one low into the far corner. Southampton were aggrieved. They felt Che Adams had been fouled by Fass in the build-up, and Fatawu may have been offside. Saints have had more possession, over 60%, but only had a couple of shots, neither on target, and they've lost Rothwell to injury as well. Ian Dante and Crystal Wellamo bringing you commentary over on Talksport 2. Half-time, Leicester 1, Southampton 0.
And elsewhere, just getting into the second half in League One, Cambridge 0, Wickham 0. Cheltenham 2, Peterborough 0 means Cheltenham won't be relegated tonight. That last relegation spot in League One will go down to the last day of the season, Saturday lunchtime. League 2, Barrow 0, Bradford 1. Bobby Poynton with a rocket, doesn't score tap-ins. Barrow could seal a playoff place tonight. Bradford still think they've got a chance. And Colchester led, but they're losing to Inform Doncaster by 2-1. That'll give Sutton a chance of staying up on the last day of the season if Colchester lose that. You're listening to Kick-Off on Talksport with Ladbrokes. We play together. Terms and conditions apply. 18+. BeGambleAware.org.
Kick-Off on Talksport with Ladbrokes. We play together. Terms and conditions apply. 18+. BeGambleAware.org.
Hope there won't be any VAR delays today. Heard that rumour about their striker. Can't wait to see what the pundits make of that booking. Looking forward to the match report on this one. When it comes to football, never miss a story. Get the best news, opinion, interviews and gossip at thesun.co.uk. For the football lowdown every day, it's thesun.co.uk.
We all fantasize about our perfect home. Watching the big game, cozied up in the snug. Balmy summer nights with the kids playing on the lawn.
We're playing real-life football!
But come on, this isn't real. Listen, if you're serious about making your fantasy a reality, find out what your home is worth instantly with a free online valuation estimate. Get real about moving. Get on the market. Most common time to obtain an online quote between 1st of June 2022 and 30th of September 2022 is under 3 minutes. Excludes Northern Ireland.
Uno is now available in McDonald's Happy Meal. So let's see who can shout Uno first.
Bring it on.
Yes. No! A wild card! Right. Yes, back in the game. Yes! No! I draw one card.
Uno! Better luck next time.
Have fun with your Uno cards. Does that one count?
Nope.
Oh, some fun, some food. It's all inside this Happy Meal. Until 7th of May from 11 a.m. Includes one pre-selected book or toy. Uno range comprises toys only, while stocks last.
When the kids eat us out of house and home, we just eat groceries from Sainsbury's.
Yeah, shopping's here. Give me those. Taxis and that.
When do they leave home?
Get Sainsbury's, Asda and Co-op delivered for free. For groceries and everything else,
did somebody say just please?
Participating stores. A minimum spend applies. Other charges apply. Subject to availability. See justeat.co.uk for details.
Don't break your stride. Get to Screwfix for the latest offers on the brands you love. Like the next generation, more powerful, more compact Milwaukee 18-volt twin pack. It's new and exclusive to Screwfix at just $249.99. And get those lawns in order with a Titan grass trimmer, now only $49.99, a saving of £10. Shop now, on the app at screwfix.com or in-store. Delivery fees may apply. Prices valid until at least 6th of May, subject to availability. See screwfix.com for full T's and C's.
There will be 14 minutes of extra time.
With Betfair's 90-minute payout, you don't have to wait for the final whistle to celebrate, because your winning bet will be paid out in full at 90 minutes. Betfair.
Applies to match odds 90 market or markets with a 90 icon. Sportsbook exclusive. Terms and conditions apply. 18 plus. BeGambleAware.org.
Kick off on Talksport with Now. Stream the Premier League contract free with a Now Sports Day or month membership. 18 plus. Stream via internet. Terms apply.
Strap yourself in.
He hits it first time. What a volley, what a goal.
Ultimate Football Radio.
Fantastic strike.
Kick off live on Talksport.
Second half coming up live and exclusive on Talksport here at the Emirates. Arsenal leading by a goal to nil. Let's get the half-time odds with Ladbrokes.
Odds update on Talksport with Ladbrokes. We play together. Terms and conditions apply. 18 plus. BeGambleAware.org.
So Arsenal 1 up and they're 11-2 on to win. Chelsea are 14-1 to win now, and the draw is 5-1. Over on Talksport 2, Leicester leading Southampton 1-0. Foxes are 3-1 on to win the game. Saints are 17-2. The draw 18-5. That's the latest odds with Ladbrokes. 18 plus. BeGambleAware.org.
Odds update on Talksport with Ladbrokes. We play together. Terms and conditions apply. 18 plus. BeGambleAware.org.
When you do the business, you don't expect the points to be taken off you. So you've got to get yourself up again to go again.
It's Everton 2, Nottingham Forest 0, and it was a tremendous strike by Dwight McNeil.
We're a constant work in progress. We're fighting lots of different battles. We're fighting lots of different problems. We're trying to lift the negative that's been here for 3 years.
And Everton are safe for the second season running. They've left it very late.
I think the vast majority of them who are Reds will not want Everton to go into the Championship.
It's Fulham 1, Liverpool 3. Diogo Jota with the third, and it's a win that shows that Liverpool will not throw the towel in on their title challenge yet.
74 points, fighting with two of the best football teams in the world for the crown of the Premier League. It's absolutely crazy.
What an epic battle we have unfolding for the right to be called the Premier League champions.
Well, that's tomorrow night. In fact, Tuesday night it's Arsenal commentary. Tomorrow night it's Liverpool. And Thursday night it's Manchester City. The title race live and exclusive and only on Talksport. It is such a big midweek in the Premier League. So tonight, Arsenal-Chelsea, Arsenal 1 up, second half is coming up. That's live and exclusive on TalkSport. Tomorrow night, Merseyside derby. It's not the only game we've got, though, because Thursday night, Brighton-Man City, live and exclusive on TalkSport. Now, on top of those two games, we have Manchester United against Sheffield United on Talksport 2 tomorrow night. That game's not on telly in the UK. 2 other Premier League games tomorrow night, both available to listen to on the Talksport app. Wolves against Bournemouth and Palace against Newcastle. Neither are live on UK TV. So get yourself the Talksport app, download it on your phone. It's easy to download. It's free as well. Very simple to use. You can just go to live games and you can navigate your way to the game you want to listen to from there. And don't forget Championship commentaries coming up as well. We've got some big ones for you. Obviously Leicester 1, Southampton 0 live on Talksport 2 this evening with the only national radio station that brings you EFL commentaries. And we've got QPR against Leeds next Friday, and that's coming up on Friday night. That's on Talksport 2. If it's anything like Middlesbrough 3, Leeds United 4 last night, then you are in for a treat. I was listening to Joe Shen and Lucy Ward doing the business on that, and as Lucy said, an absolute cracker's end to the game. It really was. Leeds were home and coasting 4-2 up, and then proceeded to try and absolutely throw it away, and it finished Middlesbrough 3, Leeds United 4. So all the EFL action is coming up live on the TalkSport network and Premier League in this midweek as well. As I say, it is Arsenal tonight. It is Liverpool away to Everton in the derby tomorrow. And on Thursday, Brighton against Manchester City, live and exclusive and only on TalkSport. We've got it covered on your station for live football. Here tonight, crowd have responded well to Arsenal being dominant in that first half, even though Chelsea had 1 or 2 chances. Going to keep you updated with all the scores and the goals going in through the course of the second half, as well as we await the teams coming out. Arsenal are in the tunnel already. I think I actually saw Martin Odegaard give away a ball in that first half. He leads his team out for this second half. 3 years ago to the day, Arteta's Arsenal lost here at the Emirates to Everton, and the Gunners were 9th in the Premier League table. 3 years ago this month, Chelsea were beating Man City in the Premier League, in the FA Cup. They were beating Real Madrid on their way to winning the Champions League that season as well. The turnaround in 3 years has been phenomenal for both clubs. So much has happened. Not much good for Chelsea, plenty decent for Arsenal. It is showing here tonight on the pitch, because Arsenal lead Chelsea by 1-0. The Arsenal players are out there. We're waiting for Chelsea. Arsenal players getting themselves into a huddle. The fans behind the goal away to our right are flying the flags as well, and the goal to our left. They have created a big match atmosphere at the Emirates. It wasn't here before. They didn't have the big games, the big results that they needed to create something special here. So the fans got hold of it and did it themselves, created their own anthem, got their own black shirts behind the goal, the flags flying as well, and it seems to have impacted the team positively. Certainly last season and this season as well. They couldn't see it through last season. Can they see it through this season? Arteta's out. He's taking his seat. I'm wondering if Chelsea... Oh, here they are. I thought they might have actually bottled it. But seemingly not. They are out for more in this second half. They have to improve. It's as simple as that. Arsenal 1, Chelsea 0. But that really doesn't tell the full story, because the Gunners have been dominant. Second half, live on TalkSport with former England defender Danny Mills, alongside your commentator Sam Matterface.
Well, you remember back in December, Chelsea were 2-0 up at the Bridge before a late Trossard goal rescued a point. Surrendering that sort of advantage has summed up what has been a largely underwhelming season for Chelsea. But one of the things I suppose they will take great pride in, actually, Danny, is that they didn't wilt under that unbelievable pressure in the first half.
Yeah, I mean, they hung on, didn't they? More by luck than judgment at times, but I expect Arsenal to come out and start exactly the same way, and they have already. Swarming all over Chelsea, putting them under pressure, forcing them into making mistakes.
Barrow 1, Bradford City 1, the latest scoreline from League 2. Barrow will get a playoff place if they win and Doncaster lose tonight. They'll hope to get one eventually anyway. Here is Noni Madueke down the right-hand side for Chelsea. No changes for either team at the start of the second half. Arsenal in red shirts with white sleeves, white shorts and white socks, attacking the goal away to our left. The North Bank in the second half And all blue for Chelsea attacking the goal away to our right, the clock end. The ball is with Thomas Partey, just short of the centre circle, being hounded by 2 Chelsea players who come away with the ball, but very quickly someone reacts to it, although there is a foul there on Nicholas Jackson, which is going to generate Chelsea a free kick midway inside Arsenal territory in the dead centre of the field.
Partey just hesitated a little bit and then just catches Nicholas Jackson. Not an awful lot in it. I think might just catch his standing foot.
There's a lot of debate at half-time amongst our colleagues about whether Nicholas Jackson was lucky not to be sent off in that first half. You've seen it a couple of times now. What was your judgment?
I've seen them given, and I've seen that more often than not given as a red card. How the referee doesn't give a yellow, I don't know. What's the referee looking at? He's making a challenge for the ball, misses the ball completely, takes the man. Surely the referee at least has to see that part of it.
Here is the free kick taken by Gallagher into the box for Chelsea, headed away by Rice, might come out for Cucurella, hesitated, allowed it to bounce, and then had to shovel it back into the path of Gallagher. Gallagher finds Enzo Fernandez, who travels infield, lays it back to Gilchrist, and then Gallagher has it again through the centre circle out to the far side. It remains 1-0 to Arsenal here in the second half at the Emirates Stadium as Gallagher starts to try and push Chelsea forward. Over on the far touchline, it's collected by Cucurella. Back to Gallagher again, hair tied back away from his face as he shovels it down the left side. I don't exactly know where Mudryk was going, but not towards the ball, and the ball ends up at the feet of William Saliba, who will clear from the right side of his box. It's up to Havertz, who was accusing Badiashile of manhandling him. The referee wasn't inclined to give a free kick, and Chelsea have got it back inside the centre circle. I'm not entirely sure what Fernandez was doing, but he decided to kick it backwards, and there was no pressure on the ball. So there's pressure on the ball now. Badiashile was giving it away. Gallagher didn't want it there. Rice has moved out to the right hand side. Rice into the box. Rice shoots. It's saved down low by Petrovic. And Arsenal denied what would have been a certain second goal by a good save from Jordan Petrovic. And what on earth were Chelsea doing? Giving the ball away inside their own half. Badiashile, first of all, Enzo Fernandez's ball was dreadful, back into his own half, and then Badiashile's pass forward was just ridiculous. Why on earth was he giving it to Conor Gallagher there? He was crumpled with the challenge from behind, and Arsenal on the attack, 3-on-2.
Another great opportunity from Arsenal. I think Declan Rice will be maybe a little bit disappointed, didn't hit it a bit cleaner, get a bit more power behind that shot. But again, yes, it's a poor ball from Badiashile, but it's pressure from Arsenal. It's Declan Rice higher up the pitch, closing people down. If only we could find a holding midfield player for England so Rice could play further forward.
Ødegaard teasing his way in from the right hand side, left-footed shot over the bar. And again, the Arsenal fans who, the problem, this is a problem when you come back from the second half and not everybody has taken their seats. The atmosphere a little bit muted inside the stadium, and as a result of that, when those efforts happen and they don't get the response that they would usually get, Arteta has to try and wind up the crowd, as he's just had to do. Lovely touch from Trossard to release Rice down the left-hand side. Trossard's got it back again on this near touchline. Rice option for him, but he decided to go towards Tomiyasu. Gallagher got it away, but Rice has won it back again brilliantly. And now Partey, 10 yards outside the box. And doesn't reach Ødegaard, and then it's given away again. Gallagher guilty this time. Arteta trying to get them to calm down just a little bit, but they're playing at such pace and intensity. It's very difficult to take their foot off the throttle, which has been right to the floor since the very beginning of the game. Ødegaard down the right side, 5 minutes into the second half, live on Talksport tonight. Low ball in towards the near post. Havertz is there, and somehow the goalkeeper's got enough on it to turn it round the post.
It's a difficult chance. It's magnificent football from Arsenal. Incredibly slick passing. Great ball in behind the defence, and as it comes sort of from behind him, he's having to let it run across him, turn, get it on target, and as the goalkeeper goes down, it goes through it, between his legs, catches his backside and bounces to safety. Fortunate goalkeeping.
I'm not sure how it didn't go in, but it didn't, and it's still just the 1-0 to Arsenal. There's a bit of pushing and shoving going on inside the penalty area. Cucurella has gone down after a discussion with Ben White.
Shock.
He does know he's on a yellow card, doesn't he? Just in case. It's not like a penalty shootout. They don't get scrubbed at half-time. Corner kick, far side, to be taken by Bukayo Saka. Gabriel
what
up from the back.
Cucurella doing?
I don't know. He's pushing and shoving with Ben White inside the penalty area. It's taken short. Saka's got it back, allowed to wander into the area. Rice with an effort, comes back out, swish towards goal, flashed in by Ben White. Well, Cucurella may well have been pushing and shoving Ben White just moments before, but he forgot about him once the play started, and he moved off towards the edge of the 6-yard box, swiveled and hit it in. It's 2-0 Arsenal, and Mikel Arteta even affords himself a little grimace. It's been coming, and they finally got it. Arsenal in front by 2 clear goals, and they can see a gap at the top of the Premier League.
Great finish from Ben White, really composed, left foot finish into the back of the net. Cucurella, embarrassing. If I'm Pochettino, I'm putting his number up now, getting him off. I think that's so poor. He's trying to fight Ben White. He's lost his man. He's not concentrating. He's more concerned about pushing and shoving. He's already on a yellow card. I mean, that's poor defending from a so-called senior player.
Where's he going?
He's lost his head completely.
He's supposed to be marking Ben White.
Yeah.
He spent the 2-3 minutes beforehand shoving him, pushing him, grabbing him around the midriff. The ball goes into the box, and he runs in a completely different direction. Then turns round. White's moved out of the centre of the goal to the edge of the 6-yard box, and Cucurella hasn't got a clue where he is.
He's trying to foul Saka now, look.
He's got the ball back, and he swept it home, and it's 2-0 to Arsenal. And it's going to get worse for Chelsea. Here is Havertz down the right-hand side, moving towards the edge of the box. Now Ødegaard has it, swirling away from Caicedo. Caicedo gets a foot in, but it's not enough, and then he rugby tackles Ben White on the far side. Referee says play on, because Arsenal have got the ball. And Mudryk plays it infield, Gallagher gets it clear, and it's up to the halfway line. Well, this is the problem that Chelsea have had all season, isn't it? You know, just that indiscipline just creeps in so often.
But that has to be instilled by the manager. Simple as that. He's got to put his foot down and say, no, that is not acceptable. And I would take... Cucurella at the moment is a liability. If he doesn't get taken off in the next 10 minutes, I think he gets sent off.
I think we said that right at the beginning of the game. That it's going to be a struggle for him to deal with Saka throughout the course of the evening.
But he's doing it, Sam, in a cowardly way. Because he's going around trying to kick people, trying to run around like a headless chicken, trying to show the fans, oh, look how hard I'm trying. No, actually, it's the opposite.
And the issue they've got is that the defenders on the bench are all pretty much right-sided or central defenders. They haven't got an out-and-out replacement for Cucurella because of the fact that Chilwell's been injured. Here is Mudryk in midfield. He's given the ball away, and quickly it's come back the other way, and Ødegaard is slipping the ball down the right channel, looking for the run of Saka. Badiashile has stepped in. It's played upfield by Chelsea, but again it's easily picked off by Arsenal, who have it far side the right.
Put it this way, Sam. Anyone will be better than 10 men if he gets himself sent off, which looks very, very likely at the moment, doesn't it?
Well, it's definitely a risk, isn't it? And he's running the risk, and he has been since very early in the game. But Arsenal not running the risk of throwing away points here. They are desperate to get as many on the board as possible. Their 101st goal of the season scored today by Ben White, his third of the season, and it's the goal that should win them the game. You can't see a team like Arsenal conceding 2 goals very often in a match, especially when the prize is to open up a 3-point gap at the top of the Premier League. Liverpool play tomorrow on Talksport, and Manchester City on Thursday, as Havertz is played down the left channel, but Petrovic is going to get there first, and he will clear.
I like that about Arsenal at times. They do mix it up. They play some very, very good football. Passing and movement is very, very good. But they're not afraid to go direct. They're not afraid. And I'm not talking about hoofing the ball in behind. accurate passes in between the fullback and the centre-half, in between the two centre-halves, for Havertz to run to, for Trossard, for Bukayo Saka to run onto and cause the defence problems.
Well, Cambridge should be safe in League One. Wickham mid-table. Cambridge will be a lot closer to safety with the victory tonight, and they have just taken the lead by 1-0 in League One. Cheltenham still lead 2-0 against Peterborough.
Oh, what a ball.
Lovely ball by Erdegaard, round the back of the defence. Havertz in on goal, lifts it over Petrovic. It's beautiful from Arsenal, who are steaming to the top of the Premier League. Erdegaard's ball was magnificent, and Kai Havertz had the strength to hold off Cucurella, move into the box, lift it high above Petrovic. It's 3-0 Arsenal, and it's nothing more than they deserve.
The ball from Martin Ødegaard is absolutely sublime. I'm sorry, that's why I interrupted you. When he hit it, I just thought goal. It was such a magnificent pass, and that's exactly what they're doing. It's a forward pass. It's a pass in behind. Exactly what we've been talking about. Cucurella's tracking Havertz. He can't make any kind of challenge because he knows he's got any sort of touch. He brings him down. It's at least a yellow card, possibly a red, and he's off. But the finish from Havertz into the top of the net is absolutely superb. Arsenal, magnificent. Martin Ødegaard is up there with the best midfielders in the country at the moment, without a shadow of a doubt. That pass, if that's Kevin De Bruyne, we are eulogising about that time and time again. The vision in the pass, perfect.
Was there a foul in the build-up to the goal?
No.
By Gabriel on Madueke. That is what Chelsea were asking for. That's why we had the delay in the restart, because Gabriel just looked as if he had just left something on Madueke. But this is very quickly gone from a game where Chelsea were somehow in it to a game where Chelsea have got no way back.
I mean, they're lost now, aren't they, Chelsea? What do they do? They've been absolutely battered. And that's down to Arsenal's quality, Arsenal's press. Arsenal tired, pull the other one.
Fernandes down the right side for Chelsea. Alfie Gilchrist into Madueke. Madueke down the right side, trying to get into the penalty area. Back to Gilchrist once again. Then it's on to Disasi and Gallagher. Then back to Disasi once more. Down the right side, into Madueke. There's a little gap there for Gilchrist, but he didn't spot it. And then it goes back into Fernandes, and Chelsea look to rebuild. I mean, let's be honest, over the 60 minutes that we've had here tonight, this is about right, isn't it?
Oh, Arsenal have ripped Chelsea apart. It's been magnificent to watch. This is reminiscent of the Lundberg, Bergkamp, Pires era.
You played against that?
Yeah, without a doubt. The way that they play, the intensity, the press, and at times playing that ball forward very, very quickly to break in behind. This is almost the perfect way of playing football.
Here they go again. Trossard, lovely little flick on halfway after Saka played him in. He races to the edge of the penalty area at the other end, gets into the box. They're backing him off of him, but he doesn't manage to escape past Badiashile, who switches the ball. Oh, it's a poor ball, pinched by Tomiyasu. Down the left he goes, drives into the box towards the back post. Havertz is going to keep it alive. He'll steer it back towards the edge of the area here. Ødegaard threatening to shoot, gets onto his right foot, does shoot, blocked by Badiashile, in by Partey, blocked by Gallagher. Still Arsenal come, thundering balls at the Chelsea box, and the blue wall, can it keep any more out? Across goes Gilchrist to head it out and out for a goal kick off of Tomiyasu, and Chelsea just trying to ensure that they don't get even further put to the sword by this Arsenal team, this relentless Arsenal attacking team that keeps scything them down, keep creating chances, keep battering them with balls into the box.
So after a couple of setbacks, Villa, Bayern Munich, and again, it's not a foul, Sam. It's a coming together. Look, he's not. Madueke.
We're looking at a replay of an incident between Madueke and Gabriel just before the third goal.
But he's not in control of the ball. It's a coming together. Simple as that.
Here's Madueke getting away from Tomiyasu at the other end. Feeds Jackson inside the area. Gets beyond the defender and puts it into the side netting. Oh dear.
I think that's offside.
Doesn't really matter, does it?
No, but I think if this goes in, the linesman puts his flag up. We're just getting a replay of it now.
No, I don't think he was.
Very tight.
No, I don't think he was offside. And as a result of that, that goes down as a terrible miss.
He's tried to sneak it in at the near post. And again, it's just it's a lack of confidence in decision making from Nicholas Jackson. That's what it is. And that's the whole of Chelsea. That's all of the Chelsea team are doing that. Nicholas Jackson will get more stick because he's a striker. And of course, it looks worse because you could have scored a goal. But all the Chelsea players are culpable tonight. Look at Arsenal streaming back, Sam. Working their absolute socks off for the team.
Arsenal 3, Chelsea 0 on Talksport with Now. And don't forget that with Now you can stream all the Sky Sports action. Contract free with a Now membership. Search Now Sports.
I'm going to have to ask Adrian Durham after the game. How can you not say this Arsenal has not improved since last season, even if they don't win the Premier League?
He hates Arsenal though, mate.
Well, I'm not a particular fan of him, if I'm honest.
Enzo Fernandez swishing it out towards the far side. They've been brilliant. And do you know what? You have to admire them because of the way they bounce back from every setback. The fact is that, you know, the title was in their hands, yes, but they dropped points against Aston Villa. They lost one game.
And the difference is the mentality of this Arsenal team is different. You can see that. They had those setbacks and they've come out and they've gone, no, okay, let's put it right. And it's a fantastic performance. Like I said, I'm certainly no Arsenal fan.
They've done a good job so far this season. Whether or not it'll be enough to see them win the title, that's a different matter. But they're giving themselves a chance. And let's go off to the game at the King Power Stadium. Leicester City want to win the title in the Championship. Will they? Jeff Peters.
Well, Leicester lead 1-0 through Fatou's goal midway through the first half. More purpose from Saints since the restart, but yet to have a shot on target in the game. They do still give up chances at the other end. It's Leicester 1, Southampton 0.
Well, Arsenal's big strength so far this season has been that rock-solid defence. It's difficult to prize them open at the best of times. Chelsea have got in behind a couple of times, but haven't had the luck. 26 goals conceded in 33 games. That is exemplary. Villa did score here twice recently, but they are a tough nut to crack. And despite the perceived increase in now some fortitude, they've still got a lot of work to do, and they've got to cross their fingers that Manchester City drop points. There has been a goal in the Championship. Jeff Peters.
It's Leicester 2, Southampton 0. Steffi Mavadini with the cross from the left-hand side. Wilfred Ndidi with the header. 2 goals in 2 games, and Leicester leads Southampton 2-0.
Looks like they'll be back in the Premier League. Promotion won't be confirmed tonight, that's for sure, but maybe over the weekend. You never know. Things can change very quickly in the Championship. 3-0 the score here at Arsenal. And the game from the Championship continues on Talksport 2 right now. Here is Ødegaard on to Saka, right side. The fans inside the stadium loving this display by Arsenal. They're olaying, enjoying every pass, every touch of an Arsenal shirt. Chelsea about to make a double substitution as Colchester concede to Doncaster. Ball over on the far side with Saka into Havertz, getting space for the shot, draws it down low in off the post. It's 4-0, and Kai Havertz gets goal number 12 of the season, and the player that Chelsea sold to Arsenal in the summer has come back to haunt them.
I think he's played really well tonight. I think the way that he plays, you can now see the pattern that Arsenal are trying to create. And actually, they've all gone to crowd round him. I think Tomiyasu's come to get some treatment, maybe for a bit of a bloody nose. Gabriel stayed back on the halfway line. But every other outfield player has gone to congratulate him. A real team ethic. But I think Havertz tonight, again, Declan Rice has made this team different. Havertz as well. I mean, the way that he drops into those holes as the false 9 allows Trossard to run, the Saka to run on. They're just a joy to watch.
It's a terrific goal. I think the defending certainly leaves something to be desired. Sterling coming on from Mudryk. That's the Chelsea's.
Was he on Mudryk? he's hardly done anything, has he? Hardly touched the ball.
He certainly hasn't helped Cucurella out.
He's not helped himself either.
And off comes Enzo Fernandez, who hasn't had a great game either, and on comes Chalobah. So I don't know what that means for Chelsea's formation. We'll have to wait and see. Either Chalobah will go in as a midfield player in front of the back four, or he will go in as a third centre-half as Chelsea try to stem the flow of the attacks from Arsenal, who lead by 4-0, and I think that is what's going to happen.
Yeah, you're right,
will be joined by Gallagher, and Chalobah comes on to try and add solidity to that back line.
It's a bit late to stem the flow when you're 4-0 down, isn't it?
Well, you don't want it to be 5 or 6, do you? I mean, Chelsea actually had a reasonably good goal difference before the start of the night.
But I would say at the moment, 5-0 is more likely than 4-1.
Just a bit. I mean, look, Arsenal have been brilliant, haven't they? They've just been very, very good. They're
a joy to watch. Energy, decision making, technique, quality. Every single thing about Arsenal tonight has been superb.
Yep, and Chelsea just haven't been able to compete with them. They're just not on that level. And now, just to make things even worse for the Chelsea fullbacks, Martinelli is coming on. And he will run at them.
So, and this is all credit to Mikel Arteta, don't forget as well. I mean, we talked about this at the top of the show. I don't think there are, in my opinion, there aren't many players out of that Arsenal team that get in the strongest Man City side. Maybe there's an argument for maybe one or two. So whether they win it or not, to push Manchester City this close is a phenomenal effort.
Yep. And they are going to push them. And what they're doing as well is their goal defence is fantastic. Oh, I think Chelsea have got a free kick here, 6 yards outside the box, and Sterling is going to strike it. He looks like he's going to go for goal as well. He'll step up, right-footed, it's over the wall, straight into the arms of David Raya.
I saw Moose playing the Talksport 5-a-side in goal. I think he might have saved that one.
And that was last year.
All right. He might have saved it last year.
He was travelling so slow, that effort, it probably went back in time. Tomiyasu up to halfway. Rice on the near touchline.
Whoever, the two subs about to come on, Sam, whoever comes off is going to be, no, I don't want to come off. These are the sort of, it's very rare that you're playing this well, 4-0 up, 25 minutes to go with a bit of injury time. You want to stay out there as long as possible.
This lot are having a party, they're having a ball.
Again, you just want to enjoy games like this because it doesn't happen very often.
The chest is puffed out, there's a swagger about Arsenal, they're popping the ball around with exemplary precision, the speed is good, Chelsea wilting. I mean, it's the perfect night for Arsenal.
I'm just waiting for the crowd to start coming out with the Olays.
Well, they've already done it once.
With 21 minutes to go.
4-0. Chelsea in a very different place to Arsenal, that is for sure. It's all been about winning for them in years gone by, but it's different now. Pochettino's handed Premier League debuts to 11 players, 21 or under this season. They've spent £1 billion over 3 transfer windows, but when you look at that squad, every time we watch them, it looks very light. Here on the right-hand side, Saka feeds Ødegaard, chips it over the top to White, through the 6-yard box and in. Ben White on the volley makes it 5 for Arsenal, and they are cutting Chelsea to shreds.
Need to see this again, Sam, because he looks a little bit sheepish.
It might have come off Gallagher.
I do need to see it because he's not. If it's his goal and he's side-footed that into the top corner, it is an outstanding volley. Whether he has or not is onside. There's no question about that. We're now getting a little replay of it. I mean, his celebration was so casual. Yeah, it's definitely onside.
Well, I don't know if he could believe it. No, it didn't come off anyone. He just sort of fended it back across the face of goal, and it went in the top corner.
Just trying to
straight in the top corner.
I don't think he meant that.
Really?
No. Have a look. When you look.
He certainly didn't mean it.
No, but that's not when you look at his body shape and look at where his eyes are looking,
he's trying to cross it.
he's trying to play that on a plate for Trossard, and I think that's why he ran off a little bit sheepish.
But on nights like this,
take it.
Everything you touch is turning to goal. Why not just take it?
It's a wonder goal.
Even White's turning round to his mates as they put their arms around the back of his neck and saying, actually, I meant to cross it.
Do you know what? He's giggling a little bit, isn't he? He's like, he went, oops, I didn't mean that. But you know what? If you get to interview him afterwards, just speak to him. Just ask him, because I think he'll be really honest and go, yeah, I didn't mean that.
Havertz off. And on comes Jesus. And off comes Leandro Trossard for Martinelli. 5-0 Arsenal.
Phenomenal
performance, but this is a stinker of a night for Chelsea and Pochettino.
But they've not been allowed to play. I've got to give credit to Arsenal.
I agree with you.
Chelsea have been shocking, but Chelsea are a mid-table side, the way that they play. Their passing has been bobbly into each other. It's not been good in any way, shape or form. But Arsenal have been absolutely rampant from the first 40 seconds, where Havertz was in, almost scored and got a player sent off.
Well, it's going to be Chelsea's biggest defeat of the season if it stays like this.
Well, I can't see it getting any better for them.
Alex Zinchenko is on for Tomiyasu, as well as Arsenal make a third change of the night.
Just looking at the Championship, Leicester can get promoted Friday night, can't they, if Leeds don't win? Didn't Leicester win the league, Sam, without playing a game?
Chelsea won it for them, didn't they, by drawing 2-2
so they
with
could they could get promoted again.
Leeds playing QPR live on Talksport 2.
And they'll have to win that game, or a point obviously keeps it. But if Leeds lose that, Leicester are definitely up.
Jorginho is on the pitch as well. He's just come on. And that's a fourth change for Arsenal. I didn't see who snuck off the pitch during that period. Thomas Partey, I think, came off. So Trossard, Havertz, Partey and Tomiyasu off. Martinelli, Jesus, Zinchenko and Jorginho in a quartet of substitutions, which I think you're quite happy to make when you're 5-0 up. Here's Gallagher forward for Madueke, trying to get beyond the last defender. Managed to do it, and then Raya lost the ball, grabbed it again, and there was no conviction from Madueke to go on. This is a bad night for Chelsea, a very good one for Arsenal, who are going to go top of the table.
And the best defence in the league at the moment, Arsenal?
Best defence, I think they got the best attack as well.
Yeah, a few people questioned dropping Aaron Ramsdale. Didn't say it was the right decision.
Raya's done very well since coming in. He'll win the Golden Glove as well, by the way.
And that was always the point that I said, we would never complain or moan about if you upgrade your centre forward slightly.
Here goes Martinelli down the left-hand side, trying to get into the box. He is fended away by Disasi and cleared away. They did beat Arsenal. Arsenal did beat West Ham 6-0 away from home earlier in the season, so this won't be their biggest result of the campaign. They
16 minutes left yet, sir.
Also scored 6 against Lens and Sheffield United. Are they going to do it for a third time this season?
The only thing Mikel Arteta's got wrong, I think, this season is not rotating his goalkeeper during a game like he said he would.
Here's Madueke bringing the ball forward up towards the edge of the penalty area. He's still got one substitution left.
It would be funny now if he did it, wouldn't it?
Jackson to Gallagher, and then out to the right side and Gilchrist.
Wouldn't be great for Aaron Ramsdale.
No. Chelsea came into this match thinking about the possibility of getting a European place and finishing above Manchester United, West Ham and Newcastle. Performances like this won't enhance that chance. They've got some huge fixtures to come. And Aston Villa away from home. They've won there this season in the FA Cup, but a difficult place to go in the league. Tottenham at home is live on Talksport. We'll bring you that one. They've got West Ham at home as well. Another London derby, a big one. And I don't think a limp end to the season is going to enhance the reputation or the bond between the Chelsea support and the dugout. And there's a little kid who's put a banner up. He said, I don't want your shirt. It's in the Chelsea end. He's got a blue a blue Chelsea jersey on, and it's all written in blue, and he put it up in the sky, and the banner reads this with the little kid underneath it: "I don't want your shirt, I just want you to fight for the one you're wearing." Up the Chelsea.
Ouch.
Do you think his dad helped him with his homework there?
I think his dad might have wrote it for him and said, "Hold this up, son. We might get ourselves on TV."
Cesare Casadei is about to come on. Thiago Silva looks like he's getting ready. I mean, can you imagine if you were 39 years and 200 days old and someone said to you, "Could you go on for the last 14 minutes?"
He's just thrown his bib on the ground, and I don't blame him, in all honesty. It's like, I've been looking at Mauricio Pochettino and going, "I'm not being funny, mate. Are you taking the proverbial? We're 5-0 down. I'm a centre half. What do you want me to do?" I think that I don't get that.
Pochettino. Someone quickly check the Twitter of Mrs. Silva. Here is Sterling down the left-hand side, moving towards the edge of the box. There's been another goal at the King Power Stadium for Talksport's Jeff Peters.
Surely all over here now. 75 gone. Leicester 3, Southampton 0. A second goal of the night for Abdul Fattah on the right. Cut inside, left foot, curled it far corner. Absolutely brilliant. Leicester 3, Southampton 0.
44 games they've played now, 94 points. Leeds 44 games, 90 points. They play Friday night. As Danny says, if they were to lose that game, then Leicester would be promoted. Ipswich play their game in hand later on in the month when they take on Coventry, so they won't be confirmed as champions for a while yet, if that is to be the case. But all of those big games on Talksport. Friday night QPR Leeds, Saturday Hull against Ipswich. The game on the 30th between Ipswich and Coventry will cover as well. There's a lot of live football to come, and significant football from the EFL Championship. Off comes Noni Madueke to be replaced by Casadei. Gilchrist comes off, and he is replaced by Thiago Silva.
I don't quite get that. It's not like Alfie Gilchrist has had a bad game or a torrid time of it. Bring him off at 5-0. Just let him stay on.
Bradford get a late goal away at Barrow. Smith in the 91st minute of the game. It's a setback for Barrow. Doncaster 4-1 winners against Colchester tonight. That's a bad result for Colchester, who know that a point for them tonight would have relegated Sutton, and they would have been safe, but they haven't managed to that. They've got one hell of a battering from a team that are in good form at this moment in time. And Cheltenham lead Peterborough by 2-0 to keep the Wolf from the door. Arsenal 5, Chelsea 0 on Talksport, and it's a big scoreline, a big night for Arsenal, who are striding out in front in the Premier League once again. Gabriel's just come off for a bit of treatment, is coming back on. Arsenal 5, Chelsea 0 on Talksport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Enterprise has 450 branches with all your vehicles that your business needs. And they have a free kick over on the far side.
I don't get the Thiago Silva substitution. You know, you've changed your back four once, you've changed the system, added personnel to it, and now you're bringing on a 39-year-old centre half. I tell you what, we will find out. I think we'll find out whether Mrs. Silva tweets or not, whether he's on appearance money. Because if he's on appearance money, there might not be any tweets.
I spoke to Mauricio Pochettino last Monday night as the ball goes out of play over on the far side. It's yet another free kick. It's finished Cheltenham 2, Peterborough 0 in League One. I spoke to him and he weren't happy. He was angry, really angry about the machinations after the fallout over the penalty. On Saturday he was a little bit more sanguine, knew that they had the chances to win it, and didn't. He was upset about the failure to award them a penalty as well. But tonight he looks absolutely furious.
But it has to come. He's partly to blame for that. The penalty incident he's partly to blame for. He's in charge. He's the coach. He decides who the penalty taker is. It has to be under his direction.
Well, he said he had depicted it as Cole Palmer. And Cole Palmer was on the pitch, and he said everybody knows that.
Well, in that case, then punish those other players.
I think he did. He locked them in there for 20 minutes.
Well, that's not a punishment, is it? You're not going anywhere for 20 minutes, you're just getting a bath and a shower.
Here's Zinchenko down the left-hand side, trying to get beyond the defender. Gallagher sees it out. It goes out for a throw, and Fabio Vieira is going to come on. Let's go back to Leicester because it's goals galore for Jeff Peters.
And it's goals galore for Leicester City. 4-0 now against Southampton. Jamie Vardy has got onto the score sheet. First time finish, 6 yards out. Lovely ball from the right. Leicester have been terrific tonight. It's Leicester 4, Southampton 0.
So of Arsenal 5-0 up against Chelsea, and for the latest odds you can head to Ladbrokes, where right now you can get Gabriel Martinelli to score the next goal, 8-1. Bukayo Saka won't be scoring it, despite the fact that he was 13-2 because he's gone off to be replaced by Vieira. Nicholas Jackson is still on the pitch. He could score the next goal, 18-1, all thanks to Ladbrokes, 18+ begambleaware.org.
And that Leicester result is actually good news for Leeds, because they play Southampton last game of the season, who now can't make it into the top two, can they? That's gone for them. So what could have been a very, very tense, nervous last game of the season with Southampton pushing for something, now isn't going to happen.
Foul on the near side by Casadei on Zinchenko. Going to be a free kick to Arsenal with 9 minutes to go at the end of the game. Alan Brazil and Ali McCoy's back together tomorrow morning on breakfast from 6 a.m. They've got Neil Lennon, Piers Morgan, who is going to be in rare form, I would imagine, and Wrexham's Ollie Palmer. And that's tomorrow morning from 6 o'clock on Talksport Superstar Breakfast. Here's Rice in behind into the penalty area, steered away by Silva, picked up by Gabriel.
Is that the Piers Morgan that slaughtered Mikel Arteta at times?
I can't remember, you'll have to ask him tomorrow, find out on the breakfast show. Here is Rice into the corner, tries to get it in off the post, comes back towards Erdogan, stopped again by the Chelsea defence, and the offside flag was up anyway. And what an opportunity for Rice to get on the score sheet tonight. A grimace, a look to the sky. He received the ball inside the penalty area after a lovely little ball by Jesus. I think he was offside in the build-up to it, he was. But he teased it towards the far corner and it hit the inside of the post.
It took forever for the offside flag to go up though, didn't it? Once he'd had that shot and come back off the post. He was a yard offside. But again, an easy one for the linesman. You can see quite clearly that's offside. Just put your flag up much quicker.
7 minutes to go here, and a similar time frame at Leicester, and they can't stop scoring, Jeff Peters.
Leicester are leading Southampton by 5-0. It's a hat-trick for Abdul Fatawu. Lovely pass into his path, and he couldn't finish. He's got 3, Leicester have got 5, and they're going 4 points clear at the top. Leicester 5, Southampton 0.
Well, Arsenal lead here 5-0, and Leicester lead 5-0 as well. For reaction to the game, you can tune in to Dean Saunders and Jamie O'Hara on the Sports Bar straight after we finish here. They will take your calls if you're a crowing Arsenal fan, a crowing Leicester City fan, a furious Chelsea fan, a disconsolate Southampton fan, or anyone else in between. Maybe you're a Barrow fan who's upset about what you've seen tonight. Whoever you support, whatever you want to say, Jamie O'Hara and Dean Saunders are open for business. 03717 223344. That's the number to call.
I think they might give Mr. Cundy a little bit of stick on that one.
No, they don't usually do that, do they? It's not their style. Here is Gallagher down the right side. A couple of yards in from the touchline is Chalobah into Casadei, and has turned back towards the halfway line. The game has sort of lost its momentum now. Over the next week, Talksport Network's going to bring you 18 live commentary from the Premier League, the EFL, the Champions League, both men's and women's. I'm going to West Ham against Liverpool on Saturday, but I did today buy myself a ticket. It's my birthday on Saturday, and I bought myself a ticket for Stamford Bridge.
Was all this Saturday?
No, this Saturday, coming up.
Okay.
I bought myself a ticket for the 5:30 kick-off at Stamford Bridge, Chelsea against Barcelona in the Champions League. Yes, I'm going on my own. That's okay. You can do that. But I'll be there straight after I finished at West Ham. Looking forward to that. Here is Gallagher. That's my own birthday treat to myself.
Are you sure your wife hasn't bought you that and just sent you on your own?
Here is Casadei. Sending it infield to Gallagher.
I think there's an app where you can rent a mate, by the way, if you want one.
I'm going to ask Alex Crook to come with me. Here is Caicedo, up to Gallagher, on the turn, tries to feed the ball down the right side, up to Chalobah, back to Gallagher once again, who swings across into the box and straight into the arms of David Raya, and he will clear away. 4 minutes to go.
Yeah, I'm sure Crookie will accept if you buy him a ticket and promise him a hot dog and a couple of pints.
I was just going to say, it's the couple of pints, mate, that will get the job done there. Arsenal 5, Chelsea 0.
But just going back to Arsenal defence and David Raya, there was so much conjecture about was it the right thing to do at the start of the season. And I said all along, if it's a slight upgrade on Aaron Ramsdale, even if it's a slight one, if that's a centre forward or a midfield player, no one's bothered.
Marginal gains.
Yeah, of course it is. No one's concerned about it. Okay, he had a couple of shaky moments at times, but he's been fantastic this season.
Well, this will be 14 clean sheets this season, which is the most in the Premier League. He's made last season he made the most saves in the league last season. He established himself as the first choice here after a couple of games sitting on the bench, and he has been a positive influence. Chelsea coming down the right side, Casadei bringing the ball out. He'll be pleased to know that he may well end up getting a winner's medal from the Championship, by the way, because he was on loan at Leicester in the first half of the season, but he has just fallen over in front of Maurizio Pochettino, which got the cheer from the Arsenal crowd. Jesus tussling with his compatriot Thiago Silva, tries to feed the ball into Martinelli, cleared away by Benoit Badiashile, and it's taken upfield. How damaging could this result be for Pochettino and Chelsea?
Hugely.
And what about Arsenal? Does this stick the wind firmly in their sails now? And does it send a shockwave to Manchester City? They look at this performance and think, blooming hell, they probably will win every game now.
Well, and also with the North London derby at the weekend, Tottenham will be looking at this and going, oh, this might be a little bit tougher than it normally is. You know, and it will give Arsenal huge amounts of confidence. But we mentioned about did they look a little bit tired against Villa? Did they look a bit tired against Bayern Munich? Look at that, look. Declan Rice tackling back in 88th minute of the game.
Ødegaard centre field, sends the ball out wide towards the right. Fabio Vieira scampers forward at pace into the edge of the box, gets it onto his left foot. He's got Ødegaard going down the right side. He shoots instead into the near corner and hits the side netting. It was so close to 6.
Another great strike. Maybe a little bit selfish, but who can blame anyone at this stage of the game? He wants to get on the score sheet. He goes for the near post. It's fractions away.
Well, Mikel Arteta will want investment in the summer. He wants a few more alternates that he trusts to allow for sufficient rotation.
Where do you strengthen? Well, left back, I would say.
I think they would probably say they need another right-sided player who can come in instead of Saka.
Yeah.
Would you turn down a proper centre forward? Here's Vieira, edge of the area. White on the overlap again. Jesus scoops it forward. It goes out of play away to our left-hand side.
It depends if that disrupts the style of play.
Well, no, but you can have that guy as an alternate, right? Someone who comes in when you need to play him. You've got to play 60 games over the course of the season.
So really what you're talking about is adding
squad players.
Yes.
Better squad players.
But good squad players. Because I would say left back is an area they can improve on.
Well, I think Yuri and Timber obviously coming back from the injury will help that.
And then maybe players so you can possibly rest Bukayo Saka.
Must be odd for those.
You can maybe rest Declan Rice at times.
Must be odd for those of a Chelsea persuasion to look over the league and see Manchester City as the title favourites with Kovacic, De Bruyne and Ake in their team, all deemed surplus to requirements at Chelsea. Havertz and Jorginho at Arsenal.
Well, the worrying thing for Chelsea is they might have to sell in the summer as well.
Here's Gallagher inside the D, getting it back to Petrovic, and it's cleared away. And then you've got Salah at Liverpool. Imagine if they'd kept the bulk of that group together.
Ifs, buts and maybes.
5-0 going into stoppage time. Arsenal fully in command. They were in command from the beginning, despite what you may have thought at half-time. Being here, you felt it, you knew it. It was going to happen. It was coming. You looked at the team sheet, you worried for the Chelsea defence. Those worries were not misplaced. It's been a vibrant show of strength from Arsenal, who have flexed every muscle, outpaced and outfought Chelsea. 7 minutes of added time. They'll probably get another 3 goals.
Come on, ref, what's the point?
I went to a game at Kenilworth Road earlier in the season where Manchester City were leading. I think it was at 7-2 or something. And the referee just decided not to play any injury time. Here's Martinelli, edge of the box, right-footed shot on the turn, it's wide of the goalkeeper.
Chelsea would be happy with calling it off now. Arsenal would be.
But the argument will be, right, if 7 minutes is what needs to be added, they've got to add it, because what if Arsenal go and get 2 more goals?
Well, I understand that, but...
And then they win the title by goals scored.
7 minutes is a lot, by the way.
I know.
We haven't had any injuries.
Had a lot of goals, though, and a lot of substitutions.
Well, I get that, but even still, 7 minutes is a long... That's a lot.
As the
trainer's not been on once, have they? Physio's not been on at all.
Once for Gabriel, I think. Ball clipped forward down the left-hand side. Jesus trying to outmuscle Disasi, pushes him off the ball, wins it, comes in field, then loses his footing and slips. And I don't know what he's hurt more there, his left leg or his ego.
I think he's slipped and just caught his own ankle.
Arsenal's goal difference the best in the league by some distance. And go back to January, that wasn't the case, by the way. They have racked up goal after goal after goal in this first part of 2024. They've been ruthless. They've absolutely battered some teams, including Chelsea tonight, Burnley, Sheffield United, West Ham. And now they sit on top of the league. How long that lasts, we'll wait and see. Here is Ødegaard scooping it over the top. He invited Martinelli to chase it. Martinelli just blocked off slightly by Disasi. And they'll be cleared away.
Well, it's going to last until after the weekend, isn't it?
It is. Because they have played a game extra because of Manchester City's involvement in the FA Cup semi-final. And their game in hand is against Tottenham, which is live on Talksport.
And Manchester City always struggle against Tottenham.
Martinelli onto Rice, down the left-hand side, travels down the edge of the 6-yard box, then pulls it back. There's no one there to finish it off, and Gallagher sweeps it clear. I mean, it would be ironic if Spurs ended up winning the title for Arsenal. Sterling, lovely turn, tries to move up to the edge of the centre circle, tries to feed Jackson, and Gabriel is there again.
Well, the fans might think they might throw a game, but I can assure you the players certainly won't.
About to take a 4-point lead over City, Arsenal, 3-point lead over Liverpool, who play tomorrow on Talksport, and they're about to take a 30-point lead over Chelsea.
So just repeat that.
A 30-point lead over Chelsea.
Wow.
Arteta, who was eloquent in the aftermath of the Wolves game, he said, when a competition touches your ego and questions who you are as a team, the best way to respond is on the pitch. Back-to-back wins are going to soothe the soul, I think, especially the manner of this win.
And the manner of the Wolves one as well. You know, equally, you lose to Bayern Munich. There's no great shame in that. Okay, Arsenal will be a little bit disappointed maybe with the performance, but Bayern Munich are a great side with great pedigree. There's no shame in, I don't think, going out to Bayern Munich.
Well, I think the only problem with that is that Bayern Munich had such a bad season that many people thought that Arsenal at their very best should have maybe put.
But they've still got some fantastic players, Sam, with experience.
Yeah, absolutely, and maybe with a slightly different profile of a centre forward, they may have got that goal in that second leg away from home, and that may be where Mikel Arteta is thinking, you know, actually in the future we'll need that. But as he pointed out, actually, you know, when the big teams got into this sort of zone in the Champions League, it took them a while to go to that next step.
Well, it took City forever.
Yeah, and Manchester United initially. You know, you think, go back to the early 90s, they didn't win it till 1999, remember? 5-0.
And this is why I think, you know, even if Arsenal do come second, third in the league this season, it's definite progression and improvement since last season, without a shadow of a doubt. You can see that, the way that they're playing, the reaction that they've had after defeats and disappointing results. And also, we eulogise about City being the best team in the world. So why is the expectation that Arsenal, it's disappointing if they come second?
95 minutes on the clock, 7 are going to be added. Chelsea have the ball, and now they go down the left-hand side of the Arsenal defence. They want to keep a clean sheet here. Sterling into the box, looking to tee up Cassidy. It's cleared away by Declan Rice, and out over on the far side and away for a throw. Most of the Chelsea fans that have made the short journey from West London to North London have left.
About 10 minutes ago. they've disappeared. I think when that fifth one went in, a lot of them thought, that's it, seen enough. Get home, early night.
Ball cleared by Arsenal, up towards the halfway line. Chelsea win it back again. 96 minutes on the clock. Maurizio Pochettino stands, his arms folded across his chest, disappointed, let down, believes that his team could have been doing better than it has been, and will feel after tonight that there's still a lot of work to do. Mikel Arteta rarely fails to show emotion. He's standing impassively on the edge of his technical area as Arsenal win the ball back again. Ødegaard, whose every touch has almost been like as precise as a surgeon's knife. Back to Zinchenko, over the top for Martinelli, who's in behind the Chelsea defence. This for 6, straight at the goalkeeper.
That's a really poor finish. Got himself into a brilliant position, and then his final touch just let him down a little bit, and he sort of towed it into the air, and it was bouncing around, and therefore he couldn't quite get clean contact to open his body up and side foot into the far corner. He'll be disappointed with that.
Yeah, there was a good chance. Sterling leading the charge at the other end. Cucurella, how has he stayed on? Out towards the left, and Jackson. Cucurella again, stands it up, chested down by Rice to his goalkeeper.
I mean, it's a fantastic result for Arsenal. Absolutely magnificent performance, great clean sheet. But they haven't had to try too hard to keep a clean sheet in the second half, have they?
No, but they expended so much energy in that first half, and in the start of the second half they took the game away from Chelsea. They've been brilliant. They worked incredibly hard. The intensity, the smothering of the opposition, the absolute swarming of Chelsea did the job. And all Arsenal can do now is keep on winning, keep on amassing points, keep on striving for success, and hope that somewhere along the line there is a City slip. With the benefit of playing first, they take a 3-point lead at the top of the table, thanks to goals over the course of 90 minutes from Trossard, 2 from White, 2 from Kai Havertz. Chelsea blown away by an unbelievably intense, high-octane Arsenal performance that condemns the Blues to their first defeat in 9 Premier League matches. Their European hopes haven't just taken a dent, they've taken a bit of a battering tonight. But Arsenal have something greater on their mind. Their eyes firmly fixed still on the big prize. Play like that till the end of the season, there's every chance they might still get it. Arsenal 5, Chelsea 0.
Wow, that is the 6th time this season Arsenal have won by 5 or more. It's the 5th time in 2024 they've won by 5 or more, and every time they've kept a clean sheet as well. That tells you all you need to know. I am going to correct Danny Mills. Didn't want to interrupt you in commentary.
Feel free.
I said I expected Arsenal to improve, having signed Declan Rice.
Oh, okay.
But Arteta wants the title. That was the difference we had. I understand what you're saying about Man City, but tell me, when you watch Man City this season, and they could have been brilliant at certain times, I'm sure, but have they played as well as Arsenal?
No, they haven't.
Tonight?
Arsenal, I can't praise Arsenal enough tonight. That is almost the perfect performance. There was a couple of half chances early on where they allowed Chelsea to get in with counter-attacks. Their pressing, their attitude, their passing, their movement, clinical in front of goal. It was the complete performance. I mean, I'm no Arsenal fan, but all I can just do is say, you know what, I love watching that. That is a proper performance that Arsenal put in tonight. And that's it. If they go on to win the title, playing like that, they deserve it. City, at their best, can play like that and maybe a touch better at times. But all Arsenal can do is keep playing like that, keep winning games and put the pressure on.
I thought they were absolutely fantastic, irresistible tonight, and they should, maybe it could have even been 10 tonight because they were so good. And they missed a few chances towards the end as well, gave a few players a rest towards the end because the game was won. Sam's off to interview Maurizio Pochettino. That's worth keeping the sports bar on for. That interview will be worth keeping Talksport on, listening to the sports bar with Jamie O'Hara and Dean Saunders. That's coming up when we're done here at the Emirates. And he will, of course, interview Mikel Arteta as well. What we said before was right. We couldn't make a case for Chelsea, but in terms of the title race, Arsenal can only keep winning games and hope that Man City slip up.
Exactly. All they can do is keep putting the pressure on. You know, suddenly the pressure's on Manchester City. They have to go and win. Okay. Are we ruling Liverpool out? Probably is the answer. You know, can Liverpool overcome both these teams? I think that's a big ask. I don't see Arsenal and City slipping up. So I think that's a huge ask. The goal difference obviously is massive between Liverpool and Arsenal. If they won the game down to points, would obviously be back the same.
If it comes down to goal difference, Arsenal have won the title.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think that's a difficult one for Liverpool. But all they can do is keep winning games. But what I liked about tonight was the attitude, the drive, the desire. Arsenal were accused last season of bottling it. I don't think they did necessarily bottle it. They lost it. They had injuries. They weren't quite good enough. City were better. End of story. But you look at this Arsenal now. That's a different mentality. There's a belief, and actually a real sort of sense. You get that feeling. We are going to fight for every single ball, every single point.
It was a good one for Cole Palmer to miss. I think even if they put him at centre back, he wouldn't have made a difference today.
He might have been better at left back.
I've had a few messages from Chelsea fans saying that's the final straw. The shame that these new owners have brought on this club. And you said they might have to sell a few players. I'm not sure there'll be too many takers for their players in the summer. The fans in that corner over to our right, the Chelsea fans, had emptied out long before the final whistle. I know they beat Everton 6-0 last week, but this for some will be the final straw. There's no shame in losing to Arsenal when they play like this. There is a shame in the way Chelsea played though, right?
Oh, there is. And I think Mauricio Pochettino will make excuses, but he's been there a season. I've not seen a single Chelsea player improve since the start of the season. Cole Palmer, but he was already a great player anyhow. He just hasn't played enough football probably. So take Cole Palmer out of it. Mauricio Pochettino was supposed to be this unbelievable coach with young players improving them. I haven't seen any evidence of that this evening.
Well, 5-star for Arsenal. Chelsea were absolutely useless, but Chelsea were taken apart by a brilliant Arsenal side who look like champions, but they've got to hope that City slip up.